Oh, and just as I try to start things up, Borzu joined in the freaking room trying to make things weird. He knows what we're doing. You know what we're doing? We're casting more CPL. It's Saint Zero here with Nablime. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing excellent. I'm so excited to get into these games. And don't worry, Barista has left us.
Oh no, I kicked him out. We're not having any shenanigans tonight. But hopefully we do see some more shenanigans. If you guys didn't watch last night, there's a lot of unique strategies, to phrase it nicely, but it was actually a really fun time to watch. So go check out that VOD. That'll be on YouTube at some point, but you can just see it on the Twitch right now. But we got 9 games tonight, a little tier 2, a little tier 0. Gonna like just a lot of matchups and a lot of high level play, hopefully. So I think we're just gonna get right into it. And as always, hit the people in the chat. Let me know about volume balance. I know Nablime recently has a little bit of a new setup for the stream, so let us know if he's too quiet or I am, any of that kind of stuff. But we're going to get started into game 1 right away.
Yeah, guys, as long as you balance it so I can talk over Seat Zero and no one can hear anything, that'd be perfect. Thank you.
I mean, you can always talk over me, buddy.
It's true, I don't need chat's help.
Yeah, absolutely. In the top right, in that peach color, it's Yellow Foxbat. And the bottom right, in the green, it's Bugs Bunny, TVZ. Nice way to start it off.
Alright, excellent. We have my fellow Australian Bugs Bunny here in the Zerg. Hopefully gonna have a good performance, represent the home country. Yellow Foxbat is North American, right?
Dude, don't ask me these questions. Why do you put me on the spot like this?
You don't have like a full bio of every player, like, you know, their achievements, the grades they got in school, their favorite color.
I got that dossier if you've been on my CPL team before. That's about it.
Okay, wow. Okay, so going into TVZ here, now tell me, what kind of tier are these groups then?
Well, we're starting off with Group 23. That's around the Tier 2 level play, kind of middle of the pack. So anyone you're seeing around here, unless they kick ass in preseason, it's probably they're going to be hanging around the Tier 2 level. And, I mean, with both these players, they've been CPL before. That's usually, I think, where they hang around. So, you know, gotta love to see it.
Yeah, that's very true. Both players, like, fairly experienced, I would say. All right, well, we'll have to see how they perform. Like I was saying yesterday, in lower tiers, you don't always expect necessarily a solid build order, so the opening can go a bit skewer from the beginning, but that kind of leads to more possibilities at the same time. Well, Yellow Foxbat, that goes to depot placement. That's all I can say so far.
Well, so you say, like, you know, sometimes the builder is not so crisp, but I actually find that a lot of the Tier 2 games, especially when we were casting during the regular season, you feel like that the influence of the coach, this kind of like, learn this standard thing, let's really get that down, get the mechanics down. So you actually see, I feel like, a lot more standard play around this level, and then it gets a little more creative either as you go down or as you go up, when people either, they don't know what they want to do or they have that confidence to get a little wild.
Yeah, I suppose. Not always, though. Sometimes people are just trying to expand and so on. There's definitely wrinkles there where they're really setting themselves behind. But so far, so good for both players in this game, for sure. Bugs is going with a pretty standard 2-hatch opening so far. And Yellow Foxbat looking like he just wants to go to Rex their feet. Although I will say Yellow Foxbat missing the opportunity to go for a 15cc here after scouting the hatch first immediately. He's just throwing down another depot here. I think it's super safe.
I mean, is that so? While that seems to be an option, you could be a little more economic. Is there any kind of risk to that? Maybe if you don't practice 15cc, you don't want to just kind of wing it out there?
Well, it's not so much risks as, I guess, vulnerabilities. If Zerg immediately makes 6 circlings after you make 15cc, you must make a bunker right away. But that is still better for the Terran than waiting for 19cc. It's fine for the Zerg to make those 6 circlings. It's worth it to force the bunker, but at the same time, Terran is still slightly better off. And there's also considering if you want to go for a stim timing, you've cut Marines to do that, so you won't have 6 or 7 Marines as quickly. So there are considerations.
Ooh, very fast link speed out of here. Love seeing that upgrade's so strong in the early game. Love seeing it. And Foxbat always making me nervous when I don't see a bunker. You got I hope it gets built soon. I hope I did the 5-second rule and look like an idiot. Please start it. Make me feel good. It's a depot almost, but probably going to add one on here as a second rack that's going up as well.
As long as you have this SCV in the Zerg base, you don't need to build the bunker blind. You can just see how many links are being made. Only 4 have been made so far. But Bugs should definitely be going for a link attack here because he hasn't started a lair. If he's not going for a link attack, this is just a mistake, quite frankly, because you need that lair timing quickly to deal with Terran's and medics. And only a couple more links getting made. Oh, he's supply block, that's why. Still a continued amount of mixed drones and links continue being made. Well, Foxbat just happily doing a normal 2x Academy build. So honestly, I think Bug's already going to be dropping behind in this game just by getting speed before layer and not using it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice upgrade. Maybe if you were expecting some kind of regression or something like that, not risking losing any of the early units as well. So it's not really the end of the world, but yeah, you would expect, especially that Overlord is up the front. You can see what you're willing to deal with here. But once to get that scout out of the base, it does die around that critical time when it's like if it was going to be lurker play, you'd be looking for a Hydrogen. So at least gets a little bit of that, some of that information denied.
For the benefit of any new players, they really should emphasize how absolutely critical it is getting your lair as fast as possible, and getting link speed sets it back considerably because you're spending your first 100 gas on that instead of the lair. So you definitely get link speed after it. Links are great, but getting it before it is basically saying, well, okay, Terran has a window where I don't have muters or lurkers, and you can come out with Stim and Mechs, and nothing will be able to fight them. But it's up to Fox whether it capitalizes on that or not, of course. And his third base going down very fast relative to the lair timing. If he had lair before speed, it wouldn't be as crazy. But as it stands, it's coming up very fast. And if Foxbat just moves out with his first couple medics, I think it's going to be very hard for Foxbat to stop him.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit concerned. We see the lair finish, but no lair tech done, and we see more lanes in production, but hasn't started Spire yet. No tech towards lurkers or anything like that. So you're getting this lair, which you're already saying is delayed, but even then, not making use of the tech right away. As everything we're seeing for Foxbat looks pretty normal. These barracks doing a good job getting everything up. Stim's on the way as well, so we'll have to see if Bugs Bunny's not careful. At least he's got a decent amount of lanes on the map. Maybe he can get a decent surround, but if he's not careful, he might get caught really unawares as that Spire finally gets started now, but definitely feels late. As a Hydra is along right next to it.
Okay, well, Foxbat doesn't be careful. He didn't wait for the 5-bats here. Stim is not even done, actually. This is a bit of an error advancing without Stim. Bugs Bunny engaging a bit disjointedly, though, so doesn't get the full damage. Just pick off a couple of Marines. But a lot of limbs have already fallen. I mean, even without Stim, just with medics alone, you can see the limbs are not that effective. And what does Foxbat have? He has no Sunkens. He has no lair tech. Foxbat just marching across the map right now, bringing Doom to the Zerg. He's building some more Zerglings, and I don't know, maybe he can get engaged without Stim again, but there's 5-bats in the back on the way. Bugs Bunny in so much trouble right now. Only one colony, and it's not even a Sunken yet.
Yeah, Foxbat immediately scanned natural, saw no stack defenses, moving right across the map. Stim is done now, by the way, so gotta be careful how you go in when these legs going in very barely. That Sunken's not going to be able to get completed. Firebats are here, so this Ling defense isn't going to get anything done. Ooh. That one piece of stack defense doesn't stand up too much longer. Buggy's about to take very critical damage here. I don't know how he actually survives this.
Yeah, so many drones are falling. Lurker aspect is a long way away. GG. Foxbat just taking it with a solid build.
Yeah, a nice, clean example of why getting some of these build orders, getting those timings down, at least as close as you can, so important, especially in these kind of games, because you can see, like you were mentioning, lane speed got made, wasn't really used for anything, lair got finished, wasn't right on the tech, and that push came across, and there's just no way to stop it.
Yeah, the standard build Zerg strategy is you just spend nothing on anything except getting basically Mutalisks really fast and whatever minimal defense you need until then, like Fallings and the Sunken say. Instead of, getting this layer you don't use, like you say, or the speed that you don't use, you have to have a very focused build order to deal with Terran with their Stim and Medic.
Yeah. But, I mean, hey, it happens to the best of us. We're here in preseason. We're here in CPL to learn, so definitely not too bad. Everyone loses games like that, so nothing to sweat about. But we're going to get right into that game number 2. In the top right, in the green Protoss, it's MG Very Berry. And in the bottom left, in the yellow Zerg, it's Mostar. I haven't seen the name Very Berry before, so I'm assuming another new face of CPL. We have a lot more signups compared to before, so, right? Or am I mistaken?
I just thought I'd seen the name before. Maybe it wasn't me casting him, maybe it was him just showing up in some Discord or something. But I've definitely seen the name before. That's all I can say for sure.
I mean, you have casted games without me around. It's definitely possible. I just, you get a little, idea of who you're seeing around. I feel like I haven't seen the name. I could easily be wrong about that. Mostar, though, I know I've played last season, so excited to see how they're playing before. They seem to, last time I remember playing them, they're the unit control a little not as crisp as you would like, so let's, season of practice, we'll see if that got cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah, well, as you can see, Very Berry, I'm not really familiar. I'm just like, ooh, I think I know the name. That's about as far as it goes, so I don't know what he's capable of. We'll see, but I thought maybe a tier 1 level player was not what I thought. But we'll see. So it's CVP cross positions this time, by the way.
Yep, and for anyone that wasn't watching before, not really sure how preseason works, all the games we're going to be seeing here Oh, we could talk about that gateway expand. I'm excited to see gateway expand.
Stylish opening.
Yeah, absolutely going to be a good time. But all these preseason games, week 1 was all played on polypoint. So everything we're going to see on this map, 4 players, still has a lot of cross position, close position, a lot of ways to play the map. So it's a good choice. We do have that overpool opening from Mostar, so nice and safe. We'll have the units to help deflect this gateway if the pressure's there. But I'm very surprised to see gateway expand at this kind of level. I feel like that's it's a bold move. It's very easy to put your zealots in a bad position, lose them in a simple engage, and then just be in terrible shape.
Yeah, it's tricky, but at the same time, there's a lot of pressure you can put on Zerg, where unless you practice it, it's very hard to deal with. It just basically depends how good your micro and decision making is, right? I feel like if Protoss has perfect decision making, it's always kind of advantageous. But obviously, there's ways for Zerg to punish Protoss, and it's easy to make mistakes. I mean, even at the pro level, nobody has perfect decision making. That's why you don't always go gateway.
You say that, but Flash exists, so
that's true. But he doesn't main Protoss. At best, he mains random. So,
but he was still the best Protoss in the ASL. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. It's ridiculous.
He's just not human. He's just at another level. There's no shame in him being the best at everything.
Well, this is actually kind of nice, though. This probe in the base confirms that it's cross positions.
Oh, that drone at the ramp! Oh, okay, I thought that probe was blocking it, but it wasn't. It's just walking past it.
Yeah, a little.
Sorry, back to the Zerg base.
Yeah, that's okay. This probe managed to stay alive, keeping the links in the base instead of putting pressure on. So that drone sees that it is a gateway right away. And I think still buying time, no chance at a counterattack if this is what we're seeing here. As these first zealots moving across the map, that probe's still alive. This could actually be a good opportunity to get some damage done if that probe stays alive for when the zealots arrive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that Very going for a Nexus first. Do this as well. Well, not Nexus first, you know what I mean. Nexus before. Ooh, losing that probe, though, is really critical in a gateway expand. That's actually a big deal because you can't see how many more lings are being made. You can't use it to help fight. That's a bit of a blow, actually. But Mostar sees the Zealots. He already morphed drones. He only has 6 lings, which is not enough for 2 Zealots. Oh, wait, no, he has more lings in the main. He needs to bring them down. Only engaging with the 6 lings down here. This is a mistake. These Zealots are going to get a lot more value here. Ooh, nice micro, though, with that drone helping out as well. Actually, that was more effective than I thought. The drone's having a lot of DPS. Well done by Mostar. And Very not typing them down.
Yeah, I think that fight went about as well as you could here. Very keeping the units right in the middle, not trying to go through. And here comes that probe to get back in, but he sees more lings being made. So actually still going to somehow maneuver way around, get back in that base, see what's going on here. And if you confirm no lair being started just yet, you know, maybe you start thinking about things. But you keep that probe alive enough to see a hydrogen or a lair. It's the big information you're trying to see right now. But finally gets cornered, that probe's taken out. And it doesn't have any real information, so we'll see how the reaction goes from that Protoss player. How many cannons they decide to make. Do they feel like they're under threat right now?
Well, he did see that Zerg made like another, 8 lings, so that's pretty good information. So honestly, even though he lost the 2 Zealots quite easily, damage has kind of been done in that Zerg made that many extra Zerglings, I feel. So Protoss is in a fine position as long as they don't suffer any counter damage. It looks like they're very locked down here at the natural.
Yeah, so a decent amount of lanes going through, but Zell's blocking the top, the probe on the bottom. There's only 1 cannon, so you know if you wanted to get a little crazy, maybe you can make an attempt at it. We'll see if Mostar's feeling that way, but C is what's set up here. I don't think he's going to really try to push the issue, keeping these lanes on the map, especially while link speed is being researched. You don't want to be throwing away any kind of larva for this. And we're seeing Star get out of the way, so despite that gateway opener, didn't really put too much pressure on. This game state looking quite normal between the players, and we're getting right back into a decent shape here from both sides.
Yeah, honestly, both players showing a very solid build, you know, which is well, unlike last game, I feel like these players are bringing a slightly higher level of game here, so they probably did well in their group. That's my prediction, but we'll see how it goes. +1 air weapons coming up too, so very definitely committing to these courses. And completely standard from Mostar so far. Or is it, actually? That's a very fast second gas. I take it back. He could be going for Mutalisk here. Remains to be seen.
That's actually not that fast of a second gas. You usually start the
I don't agree.
So when you're doing like that +1 air weapons, you get in the forge.
For Zerg.
Oh yeah, for Mostar. I'm sorry, I did not realize. But there is a Spire on the way. Maybe actually intending to go Mutas then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Totally for Protoss, they the gas they can get. But Zerg typically from here adds 2 more hatcheries. Well, they're adding more hatcheries, and it gets tied just a little later. So I don't know. Maybe he just wants more gas for overlord speed or something like that. Who knows? We'll find out. One Zealot tries to poke out. The lings unable to do anything about it. Even kills one off. Well done there.
That's still, if you can keep those Zealots at home, you don't feel comfortable moving out. But here's that first Corsair going to be able to start moving across the map, getting scouting info. And most are, I mean, it's the kind of thing, if you go on Liquipedia, you're like, how do I play this matchup? You're probably going to see what he's doing here. 2 more hatcheries going down, adding on the Hydra. That classic 3-hatch Spire into 5-hatch Hydra. Maybe the times are a little bit weird, but I'm not particularly sure on the little details. But this looks very normal here. But this Corsair not going for all the scouting info, actually trying to get an Overlord kill instead.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, he thought better of it, but the Scourger on the way, he needs to be careful here. They're going to hatch before long. What can he see there? Okay, he sees the lair. He didn't see the Spire, actually. Sees the Hydrogen done, so he might get the wrong idea here. Look, he thinks there's no Scourge coming out, and he's going to stay here. This is very dangerous for this Corsair right now. Uh-oh. Here they come. Run! No, he's dead. Oh my gosh.
Not even going to get the Overlord kill. Tragic. A lot of wasted time here. They get all the information. At least does confirm a Spire. Not the way you want to confirm it, but it's there. But back at home, things aren't looking that bad. Adding on a bunch of gateways hasn't kept up on the Corsair production. So if there was the attempt to go Muse, this could be really dangerous. And especially killing that first Corsair so quickly, I think most Zergs at least think about doing it.
Well, I think if you're going to get +1 air weapons, you probably want to get more Corsairs, right? So I think this is a bit of a mistake not having more. Oh, no cannon in the main, so he's certainly not going to be able to get any more for a little while. But if Zerg makes no mutas, ultimately this won't affect Protoss this much. It's just a bit of an inefficiency going for that upgrade if you're not actually going to use it. And already you're going up to Storms pretty fast here, so Protoss looking alright. But Zerg, you know, droning up pretty uncontested right now. He's making a few Mutalisks though, and now Protoss might get punished for losing that first Corsair. He's trying to make another one now. He's just having a look around.
Yeah.
Those Templars.
My guess is with because he felt comfortable with the Corsairs to start hitting Overlords. He didn't think there was the air units. Maybe he cut the Corsair production. He had on a lot of gateways fast. Rushed up to the Templar Archives, working on Psionic Storm now. So figured maybe it's going to be Hydras. Let's start worrying about those instead. But that does slow down the Corsair production. With 7 mutas finished and actually working towards plus air weapons, most are seeing what's available here, making a strategic choice. Hopefully can get a lot of damage done here. We'll see if the cans are going to be enough.
Eyes on the Stargate. He can see it's not producing, right? 1 Corsair got made after that one died. So yeah, he has a great idea. This is a great move. I don't know about attacking the Protoss in their base, though. I don't know if it's better to wait for them to come out and kill the Templars here, because I don't know if you have enough... Well, there is only 1 cannon in the main.
These Zealots moving out. They're going to take out a couple of the links. It does give a little bit of safety, make sure these High Templar don't get killed off. These mutas being very careful the way they want to move around before they don't want to get caught out in some kind of silly way. With only 1 can here, it does kill one of the Scourge. Oh, that Corsair.
That's a big deal, because that's exactly what he needs to deal with these Corsairs. Okay, now he's going to dive on it. Oh, that Scourge connects, and that's enough. Now this cannon will fall, definitely. There's another Corsair, but what's it going to do about a cannon backing up? Storm is done as well. Maybe Templars can help here, but a lot of damage going down so far. Probes being pulled. Where is the Corsair? It's fighting a single Mutalisk at the natural. I don't know if that was deliberate, but if it was A moving here, it's getting like held up. Here comes the Storms though. But how many of his own probes will he have to kill?
Ooh, good Storm. Does a lot of damage, but doesn't kill any Mutalisks. Not really dissuading the threat here. 1 Corsair is not going to be enough to get the job done either. If you can start picking up... Ooh, that Storm though, while probes get killed off, that does a lot of damage, mitigates this Muta threat, kills a couple, really bruises up the other ones. I think these Storms are going to be enough to at least slow things down a bit here. But still, a couple Mutas remain, being very careful. And there's the final one. Muta threat got eliminated at the cost of a lot of probes. But still, being able to survive that, kill off all the Mutas, you got to feel pretty good about that as Protoss.
Yeah, I don't know if it was worth it as Zerg. He did pull a lot of probes. He did lose a lot as well, though. I think ultimately it's slightly not worth it for Zerg. But... he has this kind of window where there's no Storms and a whole bunch of Hydras are coming across. There's a good number of Zealots at the natural. Very doing a great job macroing, spending his money here. But he has, I think, only like a couple of Storms after spending all that energy. Actually, no, he has a few. He's really made quite a few Templar here. Okay, now I'm thinking actually most time needs to be careful engaging here.
Yeah, he's got a decent army here. 1 Zealot getting poked off. These Hydras going to try to come from multiple sides here. And there's not a lot of cans here. That Robo actually up at the front as well. So if you can get through, start breaking down this wall, valuable tech to kill off. But here's the engage. The Zealot's going to move forward. We'll see if there's any Storms available. 1 good Storm. Can he get it off and hit a lot of these Hydras? But the Templar trying to move in melee range doesn't hit the targets you really want to. Second one does a lot better here. And the Protoss army looks like it's big enough. It's going to push back this Zerg army. Storm's doing the best they can, but Zealots don't miss, and they're doing the job.
I think the Storms kind of forced the Zerg to jiggle around enough that the Zealots finished them off. There were a lot of Zealots there, so well done by Very. Like I said before, he's really showing strong macro right now. There have been mistakes to be mentioned, but honestly, spending his money is not one of them. I would say the same for Zerg, but I feel his drone count is slightly low, so he kind of doesn't have the money he needs.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. I think the Zerg had some opportunities here, but these fights just not going well because Very, like you're saying, the macro is good, everything looking good as far as their army goes. And remember how much probe damage got done between the Storms doing some collateral damage and the Mutas? Like back up to 46, still just grinding out units on 2 base. This is a very intimidating way to play pro. It's hard to actually defend this. And back at home, like, lurkers aren't around, right? Like, there's not a lot of stacked defense. This could be a really strong attack from Protoss. He can put pressure on the hatchery, but gonna fight these Hydras instead. Still some Templars alive. Opportunity for more good Storms. That one
that
hits
melee
the
attack though. Well, the Storms kind of hurt the Zealots more, but honestly, there's just not enough Hydras there, right? Once again, the Zealots kind of doing work. Well, there's a Storm, and yeah, what's here to stop him? He's just gonna bash down the front door. There's Hydras on the way, but I don't think it's enough. Protoss continues to reinforce, sending more Zealots across the map. Even the Corsair getting in on the action, although I think it's about to die. Oh, it gets an overlord though before it dies. Nice.
Well it's a great distraction. Those Hydras.
Yeah, totally. Man, yeah, Protoss continue to do damage here. More Hydras coming in the background. That is a lot of Hydras. But how many drones will fall before this force is cleaned up? I think quite a few. That one Zealot going to work in the natural mineral line already killed 5. Drones not going to stop. Those Hydras engaging, but actually, is it enough with the Archon there? I think they're actually going to fall. More Protoss reinforcements coming. Once again, Very doing a great job of macroing behind this, putting the pressure on, and actually annihilates those Zerg reinforcements. And I don't think Zerg has anything else. GG.
Yeah, that's just well-executed 2-base Protoss play. Most are definitely an opportunity with the Mutas. Like, could have gotten some damage done, but Very just showing some very stable play. So excited to see how they progress throughout the season because that looked clean. I wouldn't want to play that player. Not in tier 2.
I guess that's like the equivalent of the TBZ we just saw. It just took a bit longer, right? One player. Well, actually, no. The Zerg's build was solid to a point. I guess just some decision-making errors, really. And Protoss just macroed really well. Just had more stuff, you know?
Yeah, I would say like maybe the big thing that it's hard to see because I feel like I don't actually see people go Mutas. But, like, that's one of those, you get to that fight, you see this big army Storms around the table, and there's just no lurkers, no threat of lurkers, and it just feels like that
it was upgrade. On the way. It was on the way. The thing is, Zerg doesn't want to take, like, a second gas too early and rush into that, because you have to build all these hatcheries and, like, build all these drones and stuff. So it's tricky.
You're absolutely right about that. We'll see if the next game is going to go a little bit differently here. Different matchup this time, though, in the top right. Very coming back for Game 2 in the yellow Protoss. And in the bottom right, in the white Terran, it's a yellow Foxbat. So the 2 victors we've seen so far, they're going to clash off, and we'll see. Like, if we're seeing like 2 stable, standard gameplays from these 2 players, I think this game is going to be a lot more interesting than the first 2, because they won't have that build-over kind of execution advantage.
Absolutely. Oh, MG Very, for those in chat who don't know, it's Shift-Tab. I hope Foxbat can help him out.
It's Shift-Tab twice, my friend.
Sure. Oh, you know, you can make them red and blue if you want for this one. Very pretty color.
Yeah, we could do it.
If it was an official match, I would have told my opponent Alt F4. They'd be like, "Oh, I don't know why they left. I guess I win."
Does that even like automatically like shut it down, or is that bring up the window?
No, if you want to. It comes up like, "Are you sure you want to exit StarCraft?"
Well, I mean, that's why you gotta like double down. You gotta convince me, like, no, you gotta leave to change the colors. You can't do it in game.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you, man. I was telling you in a roundabout way.
Oh man, here we are, CPL 7 preseason casting, promoting toxic gameplay. No,
that's right.
Hey, a win's a win by any color, right?
I don't know. If there's ways to win that aren't pretty. I'm not talking about cheese.
They talk about like that hyper cheese, 8 racks in the middle of the map. No, I'm kidding.
I was thinking more like, you know, abusive time zones.
Hey, you chose to live in Australia. Don't blame other players.
Yeah, I did. I chose to be born here. That's right.
We got racks on the way, gas behind us, and no racks expand for Yellow Foxbat. Very doing the most standard kind of Protoss open you're going to see. It's a gateway. There's a gas. It's a cyber core. The only thing you'd ever see here is I mean, seriously, like you could cast like the first 3 minutes of a Protoss PvT blindfolded. It's just, do you think they're a zealot kind of person? Did they make that early zealot to get the aggression going? And not only did Very Berry not make the zealot, they're not scouting still. They're really delaying it a little bit, just trying to get everything going in their base, which you don't have to rush to scout. You can wait for your first Dragoon. There's really nothing too wrong with that. Just, you know, feeling very comfortable just executing back at home.
Yeah, well, there are some players who don't scout even until they use the Dragoon to scout, which, you know, I don't like, personally, but it is kind of viable. When I play Protoss, I'm like, let me pile on scout. If I find you first, then the fun begins, you know, because I'm going to gas steal, start harassing your barracks, all that stuff.
See, this is why you like talking about this honorable Terran stuff, because you do the dishonorable Protoss. Like, not everyone.
When do I ever bring up Terran as honorable? When have I ever said that?
I'll find a clip sometime. We're gonna gloss over that. We're gonna gloss over that. Don't worry.
We've got so many save mods. Good luck.
Well, we'll see here. Factory is going up, but the guys aren't mining a lot of gas and a bunker going up, so I think Foxbat trying to get that second base online. And we're not seeing an early rush to a second gateway, so I think both players doing exactly what you're expecting to see in this matchup. Get those extra base online, get that extra economy, then you can start doing stuff with the fun units.
Yeah, I suppose that's the way to put it. Well, Very Berry going to throw those Nexus, as you say. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, the folks are playing pretty conservatively so far. As you said, both players doing like the most standard thing possible. To be honest, 23 next here, and the typical like bunker for the CC going down here. Nice scout here, he's going to spot it. Both players looking really solid right now, to be honest. So you're telling me this is like a tier 2 group?
Yeah, this is a tier 2 group.
See Very Berry get +1 air weapons and make 1 Corsair initially last game, so that did throw some doubts. But so far this game, this is like tier 1 play at least for sure, because I just don't see any mistakes at all. I say that, but then look at Very Berry's Nexus, he's not making probes, so you know what? Perhaps. And then look at the Yellow Foxbat CC, he's not making SCVs. You know what, there may be a case here.
I mean, Foxbat's in the chat, he hears you flaming him right now. If we're going to really nitpick people, we consider...
If he wants to improve, he needs to hear it then, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, a little bit surprised.
I would just be sitting on this command center being like, okay. But I'm not, lucky for Foxbat.
You're a very nice guy. like to know your indications here. First upgrade out of that factory is actually going to end up being siege mode, so nice and defensive. Going to be able to make sure if the Protoss wants to put pressure on, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But that SCV got the good scout, sees the Nexus is up, saw not extra gateways being added on just yet. Still just the one adding on a robo to get that fast observer. So, I mean,
Fox TBA coming up. Which says to me that Foxbat is intending a 2-base push. And you know what? I think we've seen other games of his where he went for a 2-base push, if I recall correctly. So I assume he's going to get a turret ring up here and then throw down a bunch of factories. Although, once again, I'm predicting, and you know what's going to happen now.
Ooh, hold on. Yo, we're talking about something interesting, though. Look at that fast shuttle out of the robo. Not observers at all. So maybe a little bulldog action, actually with the support bay behind it, actually going to be Reavers. What a fun opener, but very risky. You can't afford to lose these early power units. The moment you do, Terran just sees blood in the water. You push right across. Ooh.
That goon, oh my god. Okay, I was about to say he was like 1 pixel out of Terran's vision, but then it just stepped forward and got himself clotted. But that's the thing, Terran has the engineering bay. If he throws down the turret ring like in the next like few seconds, he should be fine. Because that Reaver's going to take some time to build, then the shuttles come across. But where is he building them? I see
there's one by the gas.
He's building these conservative anti-DT turrets. He's not building a proper turret ring. So the Reaver is probably going to be able to maneuver around them, which is very unfortunate for Terran, but he's probably going to be open to harass. Okay, here we go. Looks like he's going to build another. Okay.
Like, I feel like you don't know like stuff like this is coming so well. I mean, maybe like if you see one gateway for a long time, you're like, you're saving minerals for something. I smell something's up. But I wonder if these players have actually played before or something, maybe in practice, be like, I know what you're about. I know what you like to do. You never know the backstory behind some of these games here, but that first Reaver is completed. Not building the Scarabs, not immediately rushing towards the harass, so maybe a little misexecution, but actually seeing that a pylon's being set up and maybe trying to take that third Nexus instead of the guise of the harass, just trying to buy time to distract the opponent.
Well, he's getting shuttle speed here, so you don't necessarily need to rush to build the Scarabs if you're going to wait to attack with that. Because it doesn't take super long. I don't know if he's going to wait or if he's going to go straight away, though. It seems to me that you want to go straight away before Terran has time to prepare. You know, if they're doing a Armory Academy build, they'll be scanning you soon, so you want to get before that if you can. But he's heading straight for the turrets, even that eBay is going to see him. So Terran looks very well set up for this. Like you say, it does kind of look like Foxbat was like, yes, very, very. The guy
look at this eBay positioning, though. The most warning you're ever going to get in this situation. Shell even stops right next to it. So you can really just think about what's happening here. Let's see if there is the commitment, though. Sees some turrets, has to be careful. Taking a lot of free damage. Back out. Barely gets out with its life. So, I mean, that's risky. It's very risky. Almost just donated away a lot of resources and kind of gave Yellow Fox about the flag to do whatever he wants. Keeps it alive, though, so going to be able to make use of it with the speed on the way and starting to add on some other things behind it. Man, that's so close, though. What if it died? That we could live in that world.
Yeah. Well, he has to be super careful with it right now. He can never go in and harass with it now because it'll just die instantly. And Terran even knows about it. But look at this, as predicted, Terran going for a 2-base push here, and the Reaver is quite strong against that if you position it correctly. But at the same time, Protoss is researching +1 air weapons. And
See, this is my kind of player. Like, why use Arbiters? Why have these spells where you need finesse and like an EMP can stop it when you could just muscle it down with some carriers? And I do feel like it's a little weird on this map, so maneuvering them sometimes, I feel like the terrain's not ideal. You gotta be very careful where you're going, but still, carriers are pretty strong.
If you take the 3 o'clock for yourself as Protoss, you could be nipping over the natural here and being annoying, and Terran will be forced to kind of stay there and contest that, I feel like. But will he be able to live long enough to get them out? Because honestly, a 2-base push is the perfect counter to this. You push across before the carriers are ready, and there's a long time until that. Oh my gosh, why is this game lagging?
It definitely could be.
Australia. You can do it. Kangaroo jumping on the wires.
Oh, hey, we love your Australia. It's okay. We forgive it. We forgive it. Now, we are seeing Very has the Observer, but hasn't tried to get in the base. Doesn't know if there's armories working. Doesn't know the factory count. So playing a little bit in the blind here. Just hoping that maybe if I survive till these carriers, we're good to go. And this is actually a big carrier investment. Has the first target, adding on 2 more behind it. So, like, you're really not going to be able to produce out of gateways, or you're not going to be able to have any kind of good expansion plan. It's just a very expensive set of stuff. Oh, the first harassment goes down. I missed that opportunity. The Reaver does get killed off by some tanks, and I don't think it got a whole lot of damage done. Foxbat reacting pretty quickly.
I mean, even if it killed 10 SCVs, does Foxbat care that much at this point? Because he's got his army, and I don't see what Protoss has to contest this. He even went straight into 3 Stargates with carrier, not even just 2, although not the best engage here. The tanks are running out unsieged and getting decimated by these goons. The goons are starting to commit, though. So much of the Terran army is caught on the ramp here. Bad army management by Foxbat is giving Very this opportunity, but there's just not enough goons. They're just getting melted anyway.
It's just not enough of anything. Like, this is the cost that you're going to see when you're trying to go for carriers, especially 3 Stargates or trying to build these Nexuses and this Reaver to start with. You just don't have a real army. Nothing on the ground here. And Foxbat cleans up what he saw, knows he just killed off a Reaver.
He doesn't have Zealot speed, nor will he. So these Zealots are just like paperweight.
Hey, you got a speed shuttle. That's faster than a Zealot could ever be.
Ah, that's true. Why waste time with the puny legs?
Yeah, he's actually building more shuttles. This might be the move here. There's a lot of vultures here. They don't have the upgrades, but there's just still so many Terran units. You can see these slowly waddling through. The pylon's going to build a little choke that these siege tanks are actually going to be thrilled to death to see. And you can see the damage. Another shuttle coming through, but there's no units to drop on anything. This army from Foxbat keeps pushing forward. The supply's slightly ahead, but with that worker difference, this Terran army is looking very intimidating and should be able to keep them reinforcing. Carrier in production, but it is not going to be ready to help stop any of this.
Indeed. Yeah, well, it doesn't pop out with interceptors unlike StarCraft 2, right? So it won't really be able to do anything here. Well, that just shows why 2-base pushes counter carriers, right? He just didn't have anything.
Yeah. I also just think if you're trying to go carriers like that, like, you're getting your 3rd base, you're getting 3 Stargates, you went up to 4 gateways, and you try to go like Reavers at the opener, you just can't afford all of that stuff.
Sure. Well, at least if Terran ever leaves their corner, you can't. If Terran sat back until like 13 minutes, he would probably be fine.
I mean, that's definitely true. Alright, so we've seen a lot of just very clear, maybe like good learning games, where it's just like, here's one good gameplay, someone's doing something weird, and the classic day 9 advice, just go kill them. Like that's all you gotta
Sure.
do. Like they're doing a weird build. It's not optimized. Just go kill them. We're getting into our last game of Group 23. This will be the end of the Tier 2 action. Then we're moving into Tier 0 after that. But don't worry, we got a game for you to watch first. In the bottom left in the yellow Terran, it's yellow Foxbat. And in the top left in the teal Terran, it's MG Queen. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, brilliant.
It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen occasionally. Hey, this matchup's not as bad as I like to make it seem. I boast myself as the magnet for at least interesting TVTs. So they don't mirror builds usually when I'm doing it. Someone's going to race, someone's going mass drops. Like there's gonna be action. But you know what? The mirrors, you gotta learn to love them. They're part of the game too, and they can be fun in their own way.
Yeah, absolutely. TVT has a lot of excitement to it. Sometimes it depends on the level of play, of course. I guess we'll see what we get here. But yeah, Queen definitely another CPL veteran. So 2 CPL veterans going toe to toe here. Can't wait to see how they choose to approach this. Do you think Foxbat will do the most standard TVT open as well, just going for vultures as well?
Dude, I don't think anyone ever does standard TVT in CPL. I think at least one person's just going to go, I don't want to play this matchup and get aggressive. And just, like, you know, they'll take the coin flip. They'll go for the gamble, or at least make it interesting and fun. But on Polypoid, I imagine going the standard, you know, tanks, draw your battle lines, or really positional play on a map like this with all that high ground variation would be very strong.
I have to say, this map does seem to get split more than others I play in TBT. It depends how players choose to play, right? Because there's always the option to try and, like, kind of, what's the word? You know, cross in front of your opponent. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it. Because if you're both extending your line, one of you might come around the side of the other. But it's also an option just to concentrate all your force on your side, and if your opponent tries to do that, then you just counterattack. And if both players go with that, then you kind of end up in an inevitable split game, because both players don't really want to expose any weakness, and so they just slowly split it, like, to the side here. In this case, they've been going right. But we'll see. There's a lot of factors that have to be decided for that. But so far, both players are doing the standard opening. Like, so we should wait and see what they make from their factories first.
Well, I mean, at least we are seeing, like, both people getting gas. Because I feel like there is always that option, CC first, or some kind of Rax expand, any of these kind of other options. So both players getting gas early on at least gives you the potential. Maybe someone's going to try to get some tech, try to get a little bit aggressive, instead of just very comfortably trying to take that expansion, just willing to be defensive early on.
Yeah, it's tricky, right, at lower ranks if you have to face a 2-fac or something like that with siege tanks. It's not necessarily easy to hold, so if you're not confident and practiced in it, yeah, definitely makes sense just to stick with the normal opening. Also, even if you go Rex FE, if you're not confident about breaking out of a contain, your opponent just goes straight for siege mode, you can end up in a contain that actually just gives your opponent the advantage. In TBT, a lot of the time, it's like, okay, well, your opponent has an economic lead, but you have a map control lead, and you're actually the one who's ahead. Can't play off gas. I'm just thinking if this is going to be a 2-fac, but so far, so good. Queen lost scout, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, so far we're seeing the first factory going down, some gas econ being pulled out here once they get the extra minerals. So it's usually an indication for some kind of early expansion, just trying to get something up here. Fox keeping 2 in there, while looks like Foxbat keeping just the 1. So nothing too weird from either player, although Foxbat already gaining a little bit of a lead, up actually 2 workers, despite no real action really happening.
Yeah. Well, okay, there goes that CC I was going to say. Is he going to throw it down? It's a bit faster than Queen's. Queen's not positioning ahead of time here. Why does Queen have so much gas? Oh, she does have 3 arrow gas.
She had 2 for a while.
Yeah. Okay, throwing out that CC. Are we going to see a starport here? I'm wondering what the idea is here with this. Marines fighting on the map. You do see that every day in TBT. Nice micro by Foxbat, but nice micro by Queen as well. But unfortunately, shoots the barracks. So let's have Foxbat can take that fight.
I mean, losing the early Marines not so bad. Like, what are you really trying to do with them here? But really, both the builds from both players looking pretty similar. It's just the one factory. Here's that starport. Finally, a deviation. The moment I opened my mouth about it, but still,
I think this gas Queen was mining. I think it was always going to be starport here. That Queen SCV in Foxbat space actually doing damage to that factory. Look at that. Now the Wraith swoop in and finish off the factory. No, probably not. That'll take a lot of shots. Right, but that SCV finally gets cleaned up. But the Vulture from Queen actually coming across right away. I don't know how I feel about this, especially seeing already that there's a Vulture out for Foxbat. There's no way this wins the fight, because that Marine just has to take 1 shot and has decided the fight already. It's not even targeting the Marine, so that's a free Vulture. Okay, it does run away, and Foxbat not able to pursue, so Queen won't lose it for now.
Yeah, I would say at least that would got scouting information, but there's a barracks flying right over, getting all the scouting information you can ever want. So not even that really being what we're looking for.
Saw the units there, right? So I guess Queen just like aimed that or rallied that and didn't really think about the markering it again until it was already dying. Big SCV transfer, my gosh. Queen does not have that many SCVs actually. Already 3 behind.
Yeah, I mean, we are seeing very different plans so far, Foxbat. Adding on that third factory, actually rushing for Vulture Speed being the first upgrade of choice, while a control tower just got finished up. That's an opportunity to get your race, maybe a research cloak, but that barracks from Foxbat, gonna see that there is a starport, knows what the tech option is, should be able to react, and there's their armory on the way right away, just to make sure this Wraith can't get anything too crazy done.
Yeah, I expect it'll, get a few SCV kills, but that's pretty par for the course. Getting the control tower so fast, but no cloak or dropship is kind of perplexing. I really thought she was going to go for a vulture drop here.
That's what I was thinking too, yeah, the dropship.
Yeah, because the vulture drop is very effective, right? You just kill those SCVs so quickly. But now it's like, okay, well, the armor is already on the way. I don't think you're going to get too much done.
I'm so worried about these Foxbat Vultures, though. 5 up at the front. There's no, wall. There's no nothing to really slow things down. The Wraith pops out. Is going to start shooting the barracks, but that's a little bit of a distraction. Here comes Foxbat. 5 speed Vultures in. There's only 2 for defense. Tank arriving just in time, but more SUVs getting killed off. And look at that worker lead. Even though only a couple got killed, Foxbat up 10 workers.
Yeah, already Queen was not producing very well, but now we see this Wraith. He's distracted by the barracks. I mean, this barracks is blocking the rally, so maybe it was deliberate trying to help kill it. But yeah, Queen's SU production continuing to flag while Foxbat is just powering ahead, pulling way ahead in this game. And yeah, everyone that gets killed by these vultures counts, and they're coming in for another go. Oh, and how is Queen going to stop this? This one tank is always going to come out because the barracks is in the way. Pulls the SUVs back, but again, so many have already fallen. I think that's another 5 died there, 4 or 5.
Yeah, vultures are a bit ridiculous. On you made a little fun tier list. Where'd you put the vulture? Is it up at the top? Is it an S tier?
I would put it at the top for sure. I think it's the best unit in the game. Like, think about mines, think about speed. It's very good. But the Wraith is still at large. Okay, there's Goliaths down here at the natural. Well, we'll see. I think they're probably just going to run into the Goliaths down instantly. We'll see if Queen can react. Actually, the barracks is there, so Queen can see these. Oh, you don't want to engage there. You need to look where you're going. Oh my gosh.
And takes some damage, loses one of the race, and unfortunately didn't the cloak just finish, so here it comes now, losing half that DPS, a little unfortunate. This could have been an opportunity to get some damage done, try to get things back, but look at Foxbat up at the front, mines laid out over place, still tons of speed vultures, and there's a couple tanks here, but still, I think if you wanted to get some damage done from Foxbat, you can keep harassing here, just try to extend that economic lead, and here they go in, they're going to try to get something done. 3 tanks, are they going to be able to kill enough, or is Foxbat going to pull out, doesn't want to take too many losses, and chooses a little bit better of it?
Well, Coach-Pupil definitely could have just traded for SCVs there, but the tanks definitely are strong enough to kill all those vultures off. It's a choice whether you want to trade for workers or to keep your army strong. I guess Foxbat opting for the army. This is a great mine contain Foxbat has as well, really looking like in a dominant position. The Wraith of Queen really isn't achieving anything right now. It could come back, I feel, and push these vultures away at least and keep an eye on the contain area, but unfortunately, Queen just totally stuck in her corner of the map right now. Oh, even SCVs coming out.
Oh no, these tanks! Oh, gotta be careful. You don't want to take any free damage here. SCV trying to lead out. There's a lot of mines here. You gotta be careful.
Oh, bit of a move command there. Oh, stop move commanding! Oh my gosh, you want to just aim with them. There's no point doing like the goon technique with tanks, so they shoot immediately. But look at this. Actually, City have a pretty good position, but just needs high ground vision. Where is the Wraith to help with this? Oh, takes out one enemy tank. Well, that one gets taken out though. And without high ground vision, I don't know, it's hard for Queen to actually push forward here. Runs into some more mines. Another mine getting laid right in the middle of those tanks, doing huge damage. Yeah, unfortunately, Queen, I feel like if she just had that Wraith there, that fight would have actually gone so different. But the Wraith, as it stands, still idle near the 9 o'clock. And so many tanks of Queen's getting taken out. Even though she had the tank count, now she does not. Turrets going up in this contained position. There's mines there too. Everything's really good for Foxbat. Just like to see him take a third base while he has this contained.
Yeah, I mean, it's still everything looking great. That giant worker lead actually has more factors of production. Got the armory ahead, so they're going to be up on the upgrades pretty significantly as well. A +1 attack, I believe, is already done for Foxbat. So, like, really, everything looking pretty good here. Yeah, like you're saying, the only thing really being that third base. And we'll see if he wants to be aggressive enough to try to force their way in here. We see some buildings flying up, setting up some turrets and everything up at that third base as well. So really getting a fortified position. Queen's going to have to be careful on how to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the what you have to do is you have to just pull SCVs and go here and bust. But more money going into like dropships and stuff. And technically, you can start like flying down the bases and taking them and like fortifying them with dropships. But I think it's not a winning proposition in a longer game. I think you need to reclaim the land access, or there's not much chance of victory. Of course, there's always the potential for a Doom drop to come in the game as well. But like already, there's turrets up in Foxbat's base, so I don't really see that happening. I think Queen's best bet is to either like I said, pull a bunch of SCVs just to bust this, because there's only one tank there, actually. It's still very bustable if you have tanks of your own, or use the dropships to either cut off the reinforcements or drop on top of it. Because imagine if you drop a bunch of tanks to the south of this, assuming that Foxbat Force isn't there forever, then you can just cut off reinforcements and slowly whittle it down.
Well, I mean, Queen's thinking of a way to deal with the situation, but ain't going to be trying to bust out with the boys, trying to go bust their way through it. Armory behind it, but has already made 2 dropships, and a scan goes down right as I'm looking at them, so they're going to see the dropship, realize that there's an opportunity trying to move out here. The Foxbat looking very comfortable. There's that 3rd CC you're looking for. Down at the 6 o'clock, taking a valuable gas base in this matchup, so everything's still looking great.
Oh, Vulture's coming in here. Actually, Yellow Fox are coming in here, and there's only 3 tanks of Queen here, because unfortunately 3 of them are loaded up in a dropship. So this force from Foxbat actually is forcing its way in unexpectedly. The dropship's going for the counter damage. I'm not sure what they're going to be able to get done. Honestly, it looks like Foxbat is in danger of getting on top of the production here. There's 2 tanks and Queen on the high ground, but they're way back here, where they can't really get the range, and Queen forced to lift. Her own drop going in right now. See what it can get done. It is a strong drop with 3 tanks there, but I don't know. I feel like Foxbat ultimately be able to clean up. More tanks coming out. Now Foxbat losing quite a few tanks, getting a bit overzealous perhaps. 1 getting near the mineral line. Meanwhile, Queen's still trying to find a way in here, but there's turrets everywhere. Oh gosh, now these dropships are falling. They do get their units out, but how much damage is really going to go down in return to what's happening in Queen's base right now?
Well, not a reaction for Foxbat yet, so actually I think some pretty significant damage, so that's very neat base layout. Actually might make things a little bit easier. The SCV's trying to get on top of the tanks in melee combat. One of them does go down, but there's still a Vulture behind the depot line. It's actually some pretty decent damage trying to even things up, considering the supply deficit it was before. So Foxbat, while stopping that own Nexus, like starting their damage, a lot of damage being taken in return here. But I don't think it's enough to even up. It's just it's a drop in the bucket at this point.
Yeah, well, you can say it's like a cup in the bucket, because that did kill a lot of SCVs, like you say.
Yeah,
more than I would have thought.
Yeah, it is a bucket in the bucket, but still a long way to go to get their way out of here.
Well, look at Queen's Natural though. This is a really nice layout with all these tanks lined up, and even turrets to stop any drops though. So yeah, how is Queen ever going to get out of here? And even if she does, what kind of position is she going to be in this game? Maybe she's going to use the high ground.
Yeah, I was going to say, can't you move the tanks towards the ramp, towards the edge there, and actually start cleaning this up? You have the buildings to give you the vision.
Absolutely. I think if Foxbat had his own vision, it would be different. And there are scans available if you can anticipate when your opponent's going to advance. You can definitely do that. Yeah, I would say you have to try and abuse the high ground here. Plenty of minerals left to rebuild SCVs and take that gas if Queen can retake this location. But more dropships being made, and it's really unfortunate that Queen lost those 2 dropships in the Terran main before. If she had 2 more dropships right now, she could load up and go attack immediately. But as it stands, only 1. What are you really going to do? You can drop 4 vultures, I suppose.
Yeah, it's still going to be pretty dangerous here. Foxbat even like not forgetting the next steps, get in that science facility, and then keep working on those upgrades. Once that gets completed, it's still doing a good job producing any kind of real army, reinforcing with something pretty substantial up at the front as well. Those contains going to stay hard, going to be difficult to get out of, and vultures going all over the map. They're scouting for any kind of weird shenanigans. They're going to see that Queen is actually trapped in that top left area. It's going to be hard to break out of, but still. Dropships being made, that seems to be the move Queen's going to go with. If I was Foxbat, I'd be really hitting with some turrets, maybe even going race or something to slow this down.
Oh, he is though. Look at the 9 o'clock, even building turrets there. Setting up this turret ring in all directions. And you guys, Queen is very much running out of options. She needs to make a move soon. And here we go. This is the move. The SCV is going down to the natural, but wait a minute, nothing's backing them up. The tanks are all still siege on the high ground. She's going to drop some units, but those tanks on the high ground really need to help out here. Vulture's coming down though, so actually I think it will be enough to break. That's a nice drop. But I really feel like you need to bring everything with that. Yeah, nice little move here, going to clean up those tanks. But the reinforcements are coming in. Foxbat just has more. Those tanks on the high ground, well, a couple of them actually, finally paying off because they're kind of just in range here. But unfortunately, the location that's needed is still insecure because that natural gas is still in range of the enemy tanks. You don't need to build a CC because you have one floating right there. But like I said, the natural gas and in fact I think the natural CC are both in range of the enemy tanks. So still not possible to use this natural.
I mean,
you can see. Sorry, you go.
say realistically, like while it killed a lot of units for Foxbat, it felt like good. It's like, oh, I broke the contain. Like you could see from the supply count, Queen's army got decimated, lost so much even trying to do that. And remember, dropships, they're not cheap in supply themselves. So Foxbat still on 3 base economy keeps reinforcing forward. And it's going to be harder and harder. Like trading like this when you only get to mine from 1 base here. And at some point, that main's going to mine out as well. So definitely options are starting to run out. We'll see if Queen can actually achieve the breakout. But it feels like Foxbat really just kind of establishing this chokehold. And it's going to be very hard to get out of it.
Yeah, like to be honest, this is the only position you need to win in TVT. Even if Queen had the natural, if you just contain like this, you don't actually need to do anything else. I think Foxbat well aware of that, but he's trying to push forward a bit, just secure this area. It looks like he will, because there's not many tanks here. +2 done for Foxbat, not quite for Queen either. And look at this, these tanks can be started to deal with, but Vulture's getting on top of them actually, laying some mines. Well, laying them very far away though. Oh, takes out the enemy tank. It looks like, oh, a nice drop coming down too actually, but looks like it will be cleaned up as well. Takes out some enemy tanks though.
Actually, this one tank, there's still siege. It's doing the work if it can.
Oh,
the Vulture is going to be the reason it dies. Oh. It does. Managed to kill everything. What a hero unit there. Sergeant Hammer reborn in actual competitive play. But still.
Okay, but yeah, like you say, still not securing this gas. Okay, more Vultures coming down. Can Queen do it? Can she actually break back out here? Looks like she almost can. Mines going down those tanks. Looks like they will fall. Unsieging, but I don't think there's time. Oh, it's left on HP, but it is fleeing. More enemy Vultures come up. Queen not able to finish it off, and now Foxbat coming back in with the counterattack. Is this enough tanks to get in? Queen's well positioned on the high ground, but that all-important natural is not protected. And once again, Foxbat realizes that it's just inching in on the right here. I think very aware of where he has to go and where he doesn't have to go. But I think Queen can siege up. Oh, loses a tank. I think Queen can siege up and secure this natural. Okay, now the natural is secure. It's some SCVs down there. And Foxbat neglected to take a 4th base during all this time, which I have to say is a bit of a mistake. You definitely want to just keep expanding, no matter how few bases your opponent's on.
Yeah, definitely would be good, but he still at least has double armory, getting the upgrades. Start making some raids as well. You can see the dropship's been really the only move to kind of break open this foothold. So once these raids show up to push things back, Queen doesn't have Goliaths, doesn't have enough turrets to really dissuade anything. And that'll be like the last real attempt, I think, for Queen to break through this, when you can't drop and do your own version of a Zealot Bomb with these tanks in melee range.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be
the tank
hard
bomb much more expensive, unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe gotta drop SCVs.
Yeah, that totally works. No, that's pretty strong actually. But yeah, well, there are Goliaths out just now, but it does become harder and harder to bust forward, like you're saying. But I mean, one step at a time. If you secure the natural, maybe you can move on to the next one. Queen did have a series of decent trades. That's how she was able to retake this natural. But yeah, I am concerned. Cloak coming up too, actually. Man, if only one scanner right now, you can definitely use that. Or even scans the race who have been in the energy left, going, oh, okay. Now she knows. So many tanks, though. My God.
Yeah, this is gonna be such a rough spot. And like you're saying, there's that refinery under siege here. That's all you really need to worry about. And Foxbat, sure enough, the only place that maybe if you're going to sneak something, that would be the opportunity. Putting turrets up at that 12 o'clock base as well. So vision of everywhere, no sneaking the base. Foxbat knows where he needs to attack and where he needs to protect. Doesn't actually have the vision on the refiners, so not plugging away at that anymore. This drops are trying to get sneaky. Those mines right behind it. This could be interesting.
Foxbat can see this, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's not hidden. How long can it last before Foxbat's like, hang on? Oh my gosh. Okay, looks like Queen's getting ready to attack. Everything on siege. This dropship ready to go in, but the Wraiths see it just before the attack, so that we'll get taken out pretty quickly here. But here comes Queen, finally using the SCVs as well. It's enough. There's so many enemy tanks. Not sieging up just yet. Okay, siege up now, but there's so many tanks for Foxbat. There's no way Queen is getting through this.
And now with the cloaked Wraiths as well, like, there's no anti-air here. The tanks are enough. Man, Foxbat, very collected in how to play that game, not rushing their way through the victory, not risking anything, trying to make it fun and exciting for us, but just well-executed gameplay for all the games. So anyone playing Terran trying to see, like, hey, what should I be trying to do? These games for Foxbat today, not a bad, like, this would be a good thing to watch a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with that,
I think sorry to interrupt, the turret ring on those other bases as well. When you know your opponent's just on 2 bases, you might as well do that because it's the only way you can lose really is a big drop coming out. So you just spam those turrets because gas is more important than minerals in that matchup. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say with that, that's gonna be the end of our Group 23, the Tier 2 level play. And if you're new to CPL, you're not really sure what's going on here. This is we kind of group people to keep the matches reasonably competitive. Tier 2, I'd say, is much more of like an average level play, but now we're getting into Tier 0. These are the guys that we're almost gonna kick out of the league. They're too good. Like we're gonna see how strong they are at this point. Like if you get much better than this, you're not allowed. You can coach, you can help people now. But, like,
let's see. I'm sure we'll be very hypocritical and pick at their play completely even if we couldn't play that well, right?
I'm not, dude. I'm not going to. I'm garbage, man. Like I'm not gonna be like these guys. Get out of here.
I shall do it for you.
Well, I believe that you absolutely will, but we're going to get to that first game in the bottom right. In the orange Zerg, it's Slayers QQ, the cute little boxing face. I don't know, what do we call it? Slayers. And then in the bottom left, in the pink Protoss, it's Ash Jedi 1. Definitely a guy I've seen around CPL for quite a while. Slayers, not as familiar personally.
Yeah, I believe they've been around for a while, but I thought they used to play Terran, unless it's a different Slayers. If it even is the same person. That's not an AKA, that's their actual name?
That's what I saw when I was looking around.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think there's like Azir something was the Discord ID. So
I don't know. But yes, Jedi 1 definitely CPL veteran, and I would say definitely a high up Protoss in CPL for sure. So we should see some high level PvZ coming out here.
Yeah, I'm just like, I get a giggle out of that username for Slayers because like Slayer boxing face, Slayers boxer. I get it.
Yeah.
That's
pretty funny.
But we'll see.
He's playing Zerg.
I mean, we've seen plenty of that. Yo, it's Flash. He's not playing Terran.
Oh my god.
My Life for Ire does
win?
it. Yeah. Yeah, all these people, like, they pick names, and then it's just like, but why did you pick this race if that's the name you picked? You just like the pun? You like the wordplay?
The pro player Zealot plays Zerg? Like, come on, people. Are you even trying? At least Queen plays Zerg. And so does Lava.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm just surprised that you call them Queen. Most people still say Zero. They will not let the name go. We are seeing another gateway expand. This is what I'm expecting to see from this high level play. Like I was saying, there's a little bit of a risk that can be attached at lower level. You need a certain level of micro, a little positioning, not getting caught in a bad position. But at this higher level of play, like, I feel like you see a lot more gateway expands because they're not going to make those mistakes that make this gateway expand a lot riskier than just going Forge.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a great way to put pressure on Zerg. Like, no matter what they're doing, there's some kind of play you can do. I think I was saying to someone yesterday, it's like, well, if your opponent's going 4-pool, what do you have to do? Oh, you make Zealots and use them to defend. If they're going 12-hatch, what do? Oh, you make Zealots, use them to attack. Whatever happens, you just make Zealots. It's not too hard to figure out at least what to build, but the hard part is when you send them, where you send them, microing and all that.
Yeah, especially if you get caught in the middle of the map for some kind of engage here. So yeah, definitely could be a little bit hard to figure out, but still, you're going to have the units to deal with as long as you're being careful. And we are seeing hatchery after the overpool opening from Slayer. Make it 6 lanes, so maybe wants to get a little bit aggressive here. And without a probe scout from Jedi 1, like, at all, right? Like, so he's playing totally in dark, doesn't even know where the opponent is, doesn't know what the opener is. So definitely a little bit of an interesting way to play, but that does give you a little extra money. You can see that Nexus is getting fired up at a nice timing.
Yeah, that is pretty fast, right?
Ooh, the third hatch is in the main. Ooh.
Oh, that is weird as hell. Okay. Now I really don't know what to think.
Well,
I like that Jedi 1's going for the super economical option, though. That is nice. But yeah, is this Ling all in? It must be.
Well, the fact that we still haven't seen a gas yet, I think it is going to look for pressure. You can see he's scouted all over the place. He's trying to find what's going on. Anyway, he's going to see the gateway expand. Couple Lings up here. Seeing 2 Zealots and more reinforcements going through. I see Lings on the way.
Really nice micro. I don't know if you even saw that. He pulled that Zealot back like 1 pixel, and that was enough switch to targeting. That was really good.
See, like, this is the kind of, like, little control that if you can have that, like, this gateway expand could be so potent, but man, I don't have that kind of look. And look at this probe sneaking out. The Link's not going to be able to stop it. It's going to see more reinforcements on the way. So Jedi 1 got to know what's happening here. Needs to be careful.
You speak too soon about those Lings.
Well, I mean, you see them. You see them when they kill your probe. But there is another hatchery up at the top right. So taking another base, playing a very interesting style, but a lot of links forward. Jedi 1 has to be careful. The forge completing can start making cannons to help out as well. We'll see if these links can get through. Good job blocking everything, not losing too much, but they're still poking at that gateway. It's already lost all of its shield. If you lose that gateway, that could be trouble.
You can potentially instantly rebuild it though, so to be honest, the Zerg has his work cut out for him. Getting through here will not be easy, but he's still trying. That gateway is getting low, as you say. How many more links are behind this though? At this point, it's like, well, how many links are you get through? The pro's blocking as well. He can't even take the fight there. Because honestly, he kind of eased off to make drones there. I feel like if he was still sending links, this might be a lot scarier. I mean, he's putting pressure on the Protoss though. You know, he made him. Well, he's going to make him remake his gateway. He can't make his cyber until that's finished.
Yeah, that's actually huge. Delaying the cyber this much here, it's going to be hard to keep your tech going and everything. Now, while with these lanes, you would assume you're in a decent spot, there's a lot of hatcheries early on, adding on the gases now, and there's an opportunity to get some decent drones. So we've got all those lanes, put the pressure on, but droned up right behind it. And Jedi 1, everything gets set back a little bit, so weird opening, but I think Slayers could take advantage of this. They know the situation they put their opponent in, especially as it walks to the base and sees that there's no cyber core in sight.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very weird start from Slayers, but it might work out if he just gets this huge economy, starts making Hydras, I think. Because he has finally taken his gas now. We'll see if he goes for a lair right away. I think he has to get a Hydrogen. I don't think he can get a lair here. I don't know.
Yeah, Hydrogen seems like it'd be good, but we're seeing a very fast evolution chamber. I wonder if he's gonna try to get the armor early on, so these lanes keep laying in style. As you see, a lot of drones still going behind this. This economy is gonna be pretty strong here, and it's not like you're gonna be dealing with speed loss or anything. It's just gonna be that +1. So these zealots, I don't think you're gonna feel super comfortable trying to move out here. Probe trying to get some scouting info. It sneaks just past all these lings. We'll be able to go forward, but we'll be able to see what's going on.
I feel like this guy was coached by Hawk or something and was told oh, until you're A rank, don't worry about anything except spending your time. And he's just gonna make links all game. I mean, that's what it looks like so far. I think he's just gonna make links. I don't think he has any other strategy. Now there is a bunch of zealots coming across here though, so he better start making them soon. Link speed's still not even done. It only just started. So I don't know. These zealots are pretty scary. Oh, but Jedi 1 pulls back at the last second, seeing the defenses. I mean, the SimCity actually helps the Protoss if you don't have Hydras. This is actually good for the Protoss because the Zealots will get narrower engages against the Lings. But that is a lot of Zerglings, so maybe turning back was the right call here. Especially that Sentinel as well.
Well, also at this point, you remember, Jedi 1 didn't get any real good scouting info, didn't see the gas timing, doesn't know when link speed is about to finish, so maybe you want to err on the side of caution before that +1 weapons is finished. Don't want to be caught in the middle of the map after already kind of getting messed with in the beginning of this game. We're still seeing, look at that drone count, pretty healthy compared to the probe count from there. Jedi 1, so much gas banked up because of the shenanigans, can't spend it with all that delayed tech. And we're seeing a lair on the way, working towards those upgrades, going to have that armor, but there's still definitely a window where Protoss will have an upgraded advantage. They're adding on gateways in the Citadel. If you can find that window, maybe you take a big fight, but with this many lings in the middle of the map, Jedi 1 stepping out at the wrong time could be tragedy.
You know what would be really strong against this is double Stargate Corsair, because you can easily defend this natural as long as you don't move out, right? You just put the Zealots in the way, Links can't do anything. And then if you have double Stargate Corsair, you don't really respect a single spore. You can still just kill every Overlord. Overlord speed is a long way away, he hasn't even started, his lair just finished. But unfortunately not able to go for that, still just going for a normal 1 Stargate Citadel build. Gonna get those legs. And Zerg continue to expand more and more. Honestly, Zerg is kind of looking good, even despite this very unorthodox opening. Like you said, a pretty good drone count. All these links here to see anything that moves out. Plus on Carapace, he's going to finish before legs, I think. Well, it's going to be close anyway.
Yeah, definitely close, but I'm actually liking what we're seeing here. These lings are enough of a threat. Jedi 1 can't move out against it. So many drones behind this, taking up the 4 bases. Lots of hatcheries in production as well. So, delayed a lot of the tech here, but now with the Hydrogen on the way, he bought the time he needed. He was as great as he could be. Jedi 1 really couldn't find a win to punish it. And you can see he's moving away. He doesn't want to take that fight before that armor is finished. This Corsair trying to scout they are. And it's going to see a very healthy economy. And he's going to have to figure out what he wants to do here against this 4-base Zerg.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough. Still just lings continue to be made though. So I feel like if Protoss just techs up, gets good storms, it's going to be very hard for Zerg to actually win with lings alone. But here we go, having a pretty good fight on this high ground here. Carapace just finishing and there's so many lings. Those Zealots easily get cleaned up. This is a blow for Protoss for sure.
Oh, this is so dangerous. Now you've lost a lot of your army. Not that it's like critical, it's not a big Hydra bust or anything like that, but all these links, that map control completely gets seeded here, and that buys more time for Slayers, rushing right towards that lurker aspect upgrade, working towards that fourth base that just got finished. If they want to drone up and be crazy, they can. DT managing to sneak out, there's no vision to catch that one, unfortunately. These links are moving around. It looks like they're trying to find it. They have some idea. Or maybe they're looking for a third base.
I suspect he spotted it and he's trying to see where it's going to go, maybe. I'm not sure why else he's moving up here unless he suspects Protoss has already expanded. But yeah, there's spores up in all the defensive locations. I don't expect those DTs will get much done, but they can kind of just hit Lings if they're hanging around. And honestly, DTs in your army against Lings are actually pretty good as long as they have backup.
Well, a whole lot of Scourge just got made, maybe an accidental hotkey, but that's more than one hatchery worth, so that is intentional. Building a whole lot of those, but working on Burrow as well. Flyer Carapace, a lot of weird choices we're seeing from the Zerg. It's gonna be a very weird game. Yeah. Look at this DT killing Lings in the middle of the map, undetected. This is huge here. Killing off a lot of the units. I don't think there's a whole control group that just got wiped out unnoticed. What a big move here to eliminate some of the threat. But look at these Scourge. They're hunting for something that flies. They know it's on the map somewhere. They will try to find it, but unfortunately has not found it yet.
I think it was unwise to reveal them. I think if you didn't show you had them, Protoss could get cocky and start hitting some overlords, then you suddenly show up out of nowhere. Would have been better. But now Protoss knows there's a whole bunch of Scourge. And what did he really gain from flying in there? Nothing, really. Unless the Corsairs were like AFK over the gateways, he was never going to get anything done. So I don't like that move at all. Muta's coming up behind this, though. So I guess this is his long-term strategy. Ling Muta. Some Hydras have been made, though. Does he have any Hydra upgrades? I didn't see speed or range.
No, but he's got Lurker aspect.
Ah, right. This is the TVZ style.
Yeah, the TVZ approach to this matchup. Not really a strategy you want to go for. This DT is on the map, finding more links. Look at the... Like, this is ridiculous that there's no warning sound for this, man. I feel bad about watching this happen. Though, that Burrow was sick. That's going to slow all this pressure down, but he knows there's a DT being annoying here. Maybe if you get some overlords in place, you can try to fight them, but even still, like, DTs against Lings, they're pretty potent at just killing them in one hit.
Yeah, for sure. He didn't even have overlord speed. I mean, yeah, even if Ling has +3 armor, it still gets killed in one hit. They just have no chance. I mean, all these Lings are just in random spots around the map, so it's very useful. That Burrow, I'm not sure how useful it is. Surely Protoss is going to get a Robo soon, or he already has one, so it's not like he's going to be able to ambush the main army, but maybe it's just a counter-harassment measure in case Reavers are dropping or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're looking for, because, like, it's not like it saves you from Psionic Storm. That would be the big one.
If only.
No, please, I would not play this game if it did. This game would be a nightmare. And look at these Zealots, they're moving out here. They're trying to find these Lings on the map. Slayers did a good job not leaving them in an obvious position. Very active with the units he has. Starting to add on Mutas behind us as well. So this air army going to start being potent. And the Corsairs, there's a decent amount of them. They're being pulled up here. Look at this big move out. It's Templars, Archons, lots of Zealots behind it.
A good storm. He needs a good storm as he's going to take this fight, and already the Templars getting way far away from the rest of the army. Half the army fighting on its own, but that's a lot of Zealots. I think he realized what was up against, but the Templars getting attacked. Still not a single storm has gone down. Well, it kind of looks like Protoss is winning anyway, actually. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's purely good after all.
Yeah, and that is actually even before the Protoss +2 weapons finished, so that could have been way worse for the Zerg there. Yep. These legs...
Carapace, by the way. It's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, losing all those Lings, and you see this army from Jedi 1 now feeling very frisky, wants to move out on top of the map. Slayers did take another base up at the 12 o'clock. Going to have something here, but there's a lot of Zealots up at the door. The Sim City and some Lurkers. This might be enough, but this got to be very careful.
Oh, do big hits there, and I think these Mutas are not going to be contested by that one Archon, especially since the Sunkens are currently focus firing it. Well, actually, the Corsairs doing their damage anyway, but so many more Mutalisks just pop out. Will he be able to stop this Protoss army? He needs to storm those Mutalisks before that Templar gets taken out. The Templar is under the Mutalist himself. I guess he doesn't feel suicidal. He's not going to do it. Oh, Jedi, I'm not seeing this full energy Templar.
Yeah, not using that, but that Archon did so much work to that ball of Mutalisks trying to fight off here. Both sides losing a lot of army behind this, but you still see that Slayers feeling pretty good that the units about even have all their bases set up. And has a vision of this base over at the 9 o'clock, so knows what's going on a little bit. This one sneaky little bird Ling scouting out real good.
Yeah, and I think Zerg's converging to attack there. These lurkers are going to get denied though. Where are the observers? He's out of robo for a good while, but there's no observer with this army. I guess it got taken out in the other attack. Oh, but that's a lot of mutas, and what does he have to deal with that? Like one goon and a few cannons. I don't know if it's enough. Zerg deciding not to go for it after all, though, instead sacrificing all the lings. But Zerg continue to expand, and like anytime Protoss gets their army reset, it usually looks pretty good for Zerg.
Yeah, but still, that upgrade advantage, Carapace on the way, so these Zealots still be very effective against this still mostly Ling army. But the drone count healthy, that 12 o'clock base can start getting saturated well.
29 kills on that DT. Ah, it's still going. Oh my god. This DT. Oh my god, getting the lurkers too. That's so brutal.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about DTs and if they're acceptably powerful or not. This is ridiculous. The value being taken out here. At least the lings are fast. Still a lot of movement on the map. You can start like buying time and delaying things. The hive did get finished, working towards adrenaline. So really linging it, going into these lings. They want this hard, and we're seeing a move with these mutas into the main, trying to get some harassment done. There's not a lot of anti-hero back here. A couple Templar moving in. If they can get some decent storms, maybe. With one going down, layering in the second one, does some decent damage. The mutas are bruised, but doesn't really get too many killed. Manages to get out, but that was a nice little opportunity to get some damage done. But look at this Protoss army moving north.
Yeah, I feel like Protoss really has not been respecting those mutalisks that much. He hasn't remade Corsairs. He's starting to do it now, but he's kind of already been punished a little bit. But yeah, I don't think Zerg can hold this 12 o'clock. But is there an observer with this army? Oh, they are coming in the back. How many mutas are left? They're all a bit bruised. If the storms go down, but to be honest, the storms have not been very good so far. And when he attacked the natural, a couple of Templars died with like 150 energy. So I'd say I'm not confident. Where are the Templars anyway? There's one with that army, another one in the back. Looks like he does get repelled, attacking too early before the Observer. Honestly, if the Observer was there, I think he also could have taken that out. So many missed opportunities here. And honestly, Zerg's economy is just out of control now. I'm not sure there's much Protoss can do here unless he gets into some kind of ultimate composition. And I mean, Zerg thinks he knows what the ultimate composition is. We actually have queens on the map.
Yeah, he researched the snare. That's actually probably a decent move here. Hard to escape any kind of fight now if these lanes want to take it. It's going to end up happening here. Cleans up a whole group of this Protoss in the middle of the map here. Shuts down the pressure up at that 12 o'clock. Still the attack gets deflected. A lot of units survive. There's a ton of cans here, but now these lanes have adrenaline upgrade because soon being researched is completed as well. So finally adding on these tech units, Zerg can start being pretty aggressive. But realistically, they're doing a great job deflecting everything. They're up a significant amount of supply, and now with Plague on the way, like this is going to get harder and harder to fight for Protoss. I don't know what you do to kind of get out of this situation.
It's kind of a shame he kind of already won that fight. Oh my god, those storms though. The snare didn't look that impressive because everything was kind of already dead, but it does seem useful here. Can really screw up the Protoss army. Yeah, what does Protoss really have left here? He's just tenuously mining from the third base, but I don't know, it feels like Zerg is already in a winning position with so many bases all over the map. In his hive tech, like you say, Plague on the way, which is really just the deal breaker. Even Darkstorm on that 9 o'clock would finish it off, right? Because there's only one Templar, no DTs or anything to help out there. What happened to our hero DT? Is he still alive? Oh yeah, he's hanging over.
Oh yeah, he's hanging out. I got him selected. We're keeping eyes on him. But another little fight down at the bottom. But look at these lanes trying to go from the top side. There's still so many cans here. Lanes are pretty strong at this point, but you want that Dark Swarm. That will help you get through and kind of break these defenses a little bit. It's still just so many lanes on the way, and all the money being saved, an Ultralisk Cavern being researched, and a Greater Spire. So now we're getting to some of these kind of crazy fun units instead. Darkstorm goes down. They're going to be able to start putting pressure on, taking out the top row cannons, and Jedi 1 has to figure out what they want to do.
He needs to storm. There's Templars there. Okay, there you go. So yeah, no, it didn't work out in the end for the Zerg then. A lot more links coming across though. Okay, more Protoss army coming down here. Needs to get everything together to defend this third. This little ragtag force is not going to last long. A lot more links trying to come into the 9 o'clock. Needs another storm, but he doesn't have one available. Zealot's doing their best, but it only takes 2 links under Darkstorm to do everything.
Yeah, I actually kind of love watching this style. Constant little pressure here, and it's just links. It's not the biggest investment in the world. It's just larva more than anything. Slayers keeps gets to build up what they are. I'm surprised they haven't taken more bases, like the 3 o'clock, for example. That would be really good here. But all these upgrades are finishing up. The tech buildings all made. 11 Guardians on the way, and I just saw Drop flip into existence. But without Overlord speed, Drop will be a little bit difficult, so he's got to research that first.
Speed. that's researching.
Well, no, it was dropped like for a second. It canceled it for the faster
you changed
speed.
it back.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are these Guardians? Are they in defensive positions? I can't find them. Oh, yeah, there's the natural, huh? Well, I mean, it's not like Protoss is about to attack there anyway, but if he ever does, he will really regret it. Oculus on the way soon off. So many more Lings going to this 9 o'clock. Is there really enough cannons there? There is a Templar there still. Okay, they changed their mind. They are hitting this remotely from both sides. Where is the Storm? There it is. That's a great storm.
Yeah, brutal one. That's doing so much damage here. Second one goes through. That cleans up all the Lings here.
Gosh.
But still, look at this engagement. These Guardian Force flying off to the side. One Corsair finds it. Do it, Corsair. You're the hero.
Ling's hitting the 9 o'clock at the same time, but they will get nothing done with the cannons available here. Hero DT is still running around, but he hasn't got a kill in a while. Oh my god, though. How do you even deal with this?
Oh, a fat storm, but all the storms have been used, unfortunately.
Yeah, they have. I think he needs to cancel that Nexus, unfortunately. I mean, can he get away with canceling that Nexus, though? He's going to be pretty doomed if he does, but I don't see how he has a choice here. Templars come out, but they don't have energy yet. Goon's going to try it anyway, but there's Lings to back him up. Here we go. He's spreading them out, though. Look how spread out they are. And so many more Lings coming in. Even just morphs the Templars, doesn't even try and storm. That's a nice storm there. Takes out 2 of them. Well, injures 2 of them. Yeah, that Nexus is so dead.
Still, like, we're just seeing a whole different units keep getting thrown at the opponent. The Nexus does finally die. More pressure.
Oh, 9 o'clock.
Yep.
Oh, well, it's fine because of storms, I guess. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's still a little bit crazy, all the damage we're seeing here, but this constant change in units, like attacking from different angles, different units being made, just trying to find Jedi if he's off his game a little bit on this defense, and he keeps attacking forward at left base, lots of swarms, and it's finally enough. Jedi 1 tapping out. Slayer's very unique style, but that was a fun game to watch.
That was very interesting, for sure. I want to point out, by the way, the Hero DT survived, so all was right well.
Yeah.
I imagine he came home like, hey guys, I got 38 kills, we're winning, right? And just everything's burning. He's like, what the hell?
I feel like if anyone plays like League of Legends or something, you have that game, you pop off and your whole team is just like, you're just like, guys, you let me down. I did everything I could.
Yeah, basically. That's it. He's the carry. And the rest of the team's like, you know, feeding the whole time. Unfortunately. And 38 Lings, how many minerals is that? It's like, oh my god.
It wasn't even all Lings though. Remember,
that's like 950 minerals, isn't it?
I'm not doing math on air, man. That's a lesson you learn fast.
Yeah.
We got another game instead. How about we avoid the math on air? We go into our next game and get started with something else. This tier 2 block already starting off quite strong as we move into the game 2. In the bottom right, in the teal Zerg, it's Ling Pump. I don't think. Yeah,
I have talked with him about this before. I think it's Lingapunk.
Yeah, but I'm too American to learn how to say names like that. In the bottom left, in the brown, it's Yenta. So ZVZ. Now, if you guys like Zerglings.
If you like Zerglings, oh boy, have we got the matchup for you. Zerglings, Mutas, what else? Defilers, if it's the craziest ZVZ ever, are pretty good, but that's almost certainly not going to happen.
Yeah, I think if you want to see...
Scourge. They are the bonus unit.
Yeah, I think if you want to see those kind of extra ZVZ DLC units, you've got to go look up those Kespa files. Great, and Hydra. They were about that stuff.
Oh my gosh, the DLC units. That's basically this matchup. Now, I am a bit concerned because if you recall, last time we cast Yenta, he made me have an aneurysm by insisting on going Hydroless. I mean, he could have won the game like in 5 less minutes going Muta.
Well, hey, he bought the DLC. He wants to play with the DLC.
Right, let's just show it off, huh? Right. Guess we'll see.
I still think there's merit to going Hydras, but you have to really play into it, and that's not what we've seen when people at CPL tend to go for it. We are seeing an early gas from Lane Pump before Pool, even.
Well, yeah, that makes sense if you're going immediately for speed here. I assume it's not a distraction trick because he would have cancelled it long ago, right? And he got an Overlord too, is probably a good indication. But where is the pool? Hang on, don't you have to start that about now?
I mean, it looks like it's about to start up here, so wants to make sure they get a couple more drones, so starting that pool on 11, a very early gas, though. Yenta, in the meanwhile, they got a lot of money built up, looking like it's going to be hatchery first, so very divergent builds, and neither player getting that free Overlord scout. Which, if Link Pump went the scouting path they were supposed to, and Yenta did the same, Yeah, do it. Has some free information.
Well, in ZVZ, is it really supposed to? Because you just get to the enemy main eventually anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I actually don't know how you'd want to scout this. If you had to do it the way they are, they would see if the Overlord from Ling as it goes across the left side, using the same logic, but still, it's going to be a little bit dangerous here. That hatchery first against something so aggressive from Ling Pump. That pool about to finish up. They have a lot of gas built up, so you can actually go straight for speed and lair right away, and that's what we're seeing, the fastest lair possible. And we're seeing some links being made, but it's still one hatchery worth of production. There's an opportunity here. We'll see if Yenta is like willing to be aggressive, kind of get in there, see if they can get something done. But I think these lanes will be made in time to block the ramp.
I don't know. I don't think Yenta will actually be able to come in right away, but I think Link Pump's going to need a Sunken in the long term. Assuming Yenta's playing normally this time, which I can only hope, and actually just makes a bunch of Lings, then yeah, I think a Sunken is necessary to hold this until Mutas come out. That said, there's no lair for Yenta yet. Link Speed coming up here. And look at that, second hatchery rather, in the main for Linger Pump, interestingly.
Yeah, you're not going to, with you not wanting to make enough ground units, you're not going to be able to support the second gas. I think you just go with you started mining gas early, you got a little extra bank up, keep it in the main, keep it very defendable here. And you can see with the Yenta going for that early link speed, it's going to be hard to have the meters in time. Like, you're really going to be conceding a decent amount of this air battle. I wouldn't be surprised if Yenta actually has to make an Evo Chamber to stay alive. A lot of links on the map now. They're moving across the map. They still haven't found the opponent, so they're taking a guess it's cross spawn. Unfortunately, going to be wrong on that one.
Yeah, because he saw the Overlords all the way over there, right? So, well, the Overlord. So he's like, oh yes, he must have sent it. But this Overlord's about to see where he's really supposed to go. And he is kind of missing a window here as more, well, I was going to say more links pop out for Link Pump, but he's not making more. So actually, maybe he can still get something done here. Link Speed about to finish for Yenta. Like you said, I think he does have to get spores, but I think he's still at the advantage if he has this natural, whereas Linger Pump opts to make the hatchery in the main, which probably did need to do to stay alive. Look at this, more links coming up for Yenta, but a nice concave for Linger Pump, going to make it hard to get in there. Let's see if Yenta wants to try it. Looks like he's going to go for it. So far, pretty good engage for Yenta. Oh my gosh, crushing through, and Linger Pump's in real trouble now. The Sunken's not ready.
Yeah, concave helps you defend, but not that much. Like, you see, trying to use the drills, trying to get these, but there's still even creep colonies. They're no near Sunkens. That Spire
is critical damage.
Yeah, the Spire nearing completion, but if you lose all these drones, you just can't afford what's happening here. Oof.
Man, that's all it takes in ZVZ. Like you said, do you like Zerglings? Here, have some.
Yeah,
I guess you need the Sunken to be ready already, right? To survive.
I'm not sure. Like, I wonder if that's the kind of build that if your opponent went like 9 pool fast tech, like you abuse that, but you just lose to heavy link play. Because it's hard to tell. I feel like there are some choices like that that just tend not to work out.
Well, the thing is, if you have a Sunken in a nice SimCity position, you can drill it, you can hold off a surprising number of links. So I don't think you're doomed to die no matter what, as long as you get the defense you need.
Yeah, it definitely could be true, but you know what? Hindsight and this omnipresent vision we got watching these games, very different than when you're playing the mirror. You're like, I don't know what to do. I'll make the Spire.
That's a good guide for ZVZ. If you're making mutas, you're probably doing something right.
Yeah, it seems like correct play, unless you wanna, be like great, live in the past. All right, moving to our next game. In the bottom left, in the yellow Terran, it's Kiko. And in the top left, in the pink Zerg, it's Ling Pump. Ready for round 2. Hopefully it gets to play a little bit longer this time.
Oh, this is exciting because this is one of the best Terrans in CPL as well. Very strong player from what we've seen before. And we'll see how he fares against Linger Pump, I suppose. Linger Pump falling to Yenta, of course. But TVZ is a fresh new matchup. We'll see what we get. I hope it'll last longer than our other TVZ.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a good matchup, and expecting a crisper play. It's not going to have that I executed my build and you stumbled a little bit here and there. I don't think we're going to be seeing any of that. Although I'm actually very interested to see this because I feel like every game I cast the Link Pump just keeps being ZVZ. I feel like that's all I've ever seen them play, so I'm very excited to see how it's going to play out here if they have a normal kind of style, because like you're saying, Kiko, one of the better players that we got in CPL, you're going to have to bring your A game and not screw around on this one.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, looks like Link Pump? Not Link Pump. Kiko already going for like a Link Proof Wall, the natural here. Now, recently it's like a in style thing that even if you go with Bio, you do this, which, by the way, my 2 cents, I don't like it, but I wonder if he wants to go with a mech opening here, which we were discussing yesterday, is being a bit rarer recently.
It feels like we're just not seeing it that often. While we're in the early part in the chat, someone's asking, how do you become cool enough to get your game casted? Join the CPL. That's how you get cool
enough. Discord, and you can join Discord and check everything.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as preseason goes, we are kind of selecting just randomly. I'm like, oh, these names sound cool. Like this, just kind of grabbing stuff as we're going through the preseason. When we get into the regular season, these casts that we do every Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 7 o'clock, you can subscribe to the channel, be notified when they're coming through. We're going to be featuring teams as we go through, kind of even exposure. So everyone's gonna be getting their chance to shine, but we have all these lovely community casters that also cast games on their own private channel. So definitely, you're playing CPL, there's gonna be a chance that you can see your games get casted, and hopefully you're having a good time just playing them regardless if you get casted or not.
Absolutely. Okay, so we don't see any gas just yet, by the way. So Kiko does look like it's sort of expanding with this wall, and it's not even a full wall, but I guess it still helps. I'm just thinking, if it was a 9 pool, would you really be able to survive this? I don't know. It looks dubious to me. But whatever, that's the next question for another game, I suppose.
I mean, are you going 9 pool on the 4-player map where economics and having some clean 2 hatch openings seems like it's very potent? I feel like that's
people on ladder do it all the time. That's all I know.
Well, that's the ladder, man. CPL, it's preseason. I feel like you see a lot more reasonably standard play. Now, okay, I know you have a lot of comments about SimCity. What are we seeing here at the Natural? Do you like it?
Well, can I talk about the Zerg first?
Sure.
So he didn't go for a 9 pool, but he did go for a pool first, right? And he's getting a really fast lair. I can only assume it's for a lurker attack. And now in that context, let's look at the SimCity. Depot above fits like a glove, so no lings can get in here. Sure, that's fine. But he has to commit these 2 ACVs to block, which is a bit of a pain. And also, when lurkers show up, how are you going to stop these depots from dying? They're just a liability. I don't think building bunkers in front of this is wise, because it's going to be too exposed. But we'll see exactly what Link Pump's plan is. I suppose he could be going mutalist with this, but it would be quite awkward. And there's no Hydra Den, so I suppose it must be muta. Which has been unfortunate, to be honest, because I feel like a lurker all-in would have been very strong with this wall here.
Yeah, I do actually. I'm a little bit surprised seeing this, though. But Kiko was trying to sniff out the information. The SCV tried to get back in the main. It didn't get up the ramp, but saw the hatchery wasn't done at the natural. So if you're really sharp with your times, and as I say that, this other SCV just shows up. It's like, hold on, buddy. Let's take a look. What's going on? A lair being made, sees the spire. So timing may be a little bit different in the situation, but you know what you're dealing with here. And we'll see if Kiko has turrets and up in time to be able to defend this. The eBay is about halfway done. I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, Kiko very wisely got the eBay a lot earlier than you would, in fact, before the Academy. Although that makes me wonder, how is this going to work out? If there's no Stim and Medics, can you really defend with turrets alone? Kiko cutting SCV significantly, trying to get these turrets up in time, and I don't know, Zerg's economy doesn't seem that affected. That said, the mutas are a long way away. It's not like they're popping out just now. They're still like, more than a minute.
Well, also the gas income, like the amount of gas we're actually seeing from Link Pump, you're not going to be able to have a tremendous amount of mutas to really abuse this. You're going to get enough to get that initial pressure done. And then you're going to have to start making some choices here. Kiko has a couple of Marines they're moving out here. Maybe you're trying to get some kind of reaction if they can get a little, like, make some sunk-ins, just try to spend money, something to slow things down here. This SCV still being annoying here. And I don't know if these Marine moves actually seen at all.
Yeah, he has a sunken up though, and like kind of one sunken kind of just negates any amount of unstim Marines, it feels like. So there's definitely no way Kiko can come in here. He's not even able to force anything, and the mutas are morphing. I don't know if these Marines can even get back. Oh, even loses a Marine. Can these Marines even get back before the mutas hatch? It's going to be close. If the mutas go straight to them, and the turrets are going up. But again, this wall, look at this wall. You have no stim, you have no medics. Are you really going to put enough turrets to defend those depots? This is just a big vulnerability. And even the position the barracks is going up in the main. Honestly, this looks very fragile for Kiko right now. I'm very worried these mutalisks are going to do huge damage, and I don't think Kiko can do much about it.
Yeah, you would hope that they do damage, but to not get lost in a clumsy way. Working on +1 attack as well, so very big investment. Wants to keep going with these mutas, staying on 2 base for a bit, so we'll see if Link Pump can get something done. But like you're saying, definitely opportunities to kind of abuse things here. There's a second turret up at the natural, so that's going to be a little bit of the hard spot. So who finds the high ground?
There's no turrets at the ramp. I got a rhyme for you, State Zero. No turrets at the ramp, mutalists will camp. They love being at the top of that ramp and killing any bio trying to come up there. So everywhere I look in this Terran base, there's vulnerabilities. Down at the UV Academy, there are no turrets at all. And like once again, there's not enough bio to really deal with this. Did he get Stim already? He's getting Marine range first. Oh, he did get Stim already, okay. But look at this, with the ramp, he's just doing so much damage. Okay, another turret going up that sort of covers it now. And these Mutas will be compelled to retreat by that turret.
Yeah, I do like one thing I did see. Kiko tried to send out another SUV, get some scouting info, but the Mutas very diligently made sure that didn't get on the map. Doesn't want to expose if he has other bases, what timing they were made at, or any of this kind of information. So Link Pump being very active with these Mutas, making sure they can get what they need to get done. Starting the drone behind this, taking another base at the 12 o'clock. And Kiko's got to be very careful here. I think he's going to be building up to some kind of critical mass. Still adding on more turrets because, like you're saying, some of this building placement, it's just a lot of exposed areas. He has to be careful here. But finally, it's going to be enough to slow down this Muta threat.
Yeah, that turret unfortunately unfinished. But yeah, there's only one turret in the bottom here. And it's 11 Mutas, so I think Link Pump can easily dive in there. The bio out of position, there's really not that much of it. How many Marines even are there? There's only like 7 or 8. And yeah, easily 2-shot that turret. Oh, well, 3-shot that turret with 11 Mutas. Oh my gosh, he's killing all the bio here. No turret hitting. And yeah, like 4 Marines not enough to fight this. Not the best macro by Link Pump, to be honest, but good enough. And yeah, trying to frantically more turrets here won't help you, I don't think.
Yeah, a couple more Marines going through. Stim trying to do damage, a couple Mutas going down, but there's just not enough anti-air here. Doing a good job killing off whatever workers they can. Kiko's economy not looking particularly great right here. Some more turrets finally getting built up by that gas, but still sending bio like one at a time like this isn't going to be enough to slow down this. And this is buying all the time you need. Lurker aspect on the way, and that +1 air weapon's about to finish as well.
Well, when you're in there 1 Marine, it's hard to not send in one at a time, right? Because yeah, there's just no armies for Kiko right now. Now, not that many SCVs have fallen, but the damage continues to go down. I'm going to take out this depot. The eBay and Academy are under threat, and you really don't want to lose either of those. +1 weapons is finished for the Terran. +1 armor also an important upgrade with these locals coming up, as you say. So many turrets on the barracks right now. Mutas are happy to stay down here. Only 6 left, so Terran has traded them off. It's just that they're kind of getting damage where it's worth it for Zerg to lose them. But now they are forced to retreat. Only 4 left. So I think Zerg's saying, like, okay, I'm done making Mutas. This is what my Mutas are going to do this game. Now I'm in lurkers. And also, I think like it's enough, because like I said, there is no Terran army. Like, Terran has no way of coming out here. And look at these Hydras all approaching. Looks like they want to do a big attack once they've morphed. Oh, look at that scouting SCV. Oh, he sees the Hydras coming, though. That's a big deal. So now Terran should throw down a couple of bunkers, presumably.
Yeah, but I mean, with this wall, like, where do you put the bunkers? There's still going to be exposed areas where these lurkers could find damage. Or at least Kiko is just going to be so holed up in this base. Like, how do you comfortably move out of this area with all this wall here, with all these buildings in the way? Like, how do you comfortably get out? And canceling the bunker, like, this is just a weird situation
They're
to be in.
right there! Oh my gosh. No respect. I mean, the thing is, even if Terran knew are there, what can he do? Okay, he's gonna come up here, but I don't know if he can really do anything. There's not enough Marines for that many lurkers. And obviously, you don't do anything while they're in the eggs. That bunker hardly going to be finished in time, but he really needed like 3 bunkers. He's blocked his retreat with that second bunker. He can't even run back right behind it. This looks so dangerous for Terran right now. 10 lurkers are being morphed, not right here, 8 here, 2 elsewhere. Oh god, he needs to run. Run, Marines, run! Oh, not that way. Who's going to defend the natural now? Who's going to defend the natural now?
I mean, they don't want to defend a natural. They just locked them out. Like, it's like, fine, forget you guys too. Loading up some stuff in the bunker, but still, there's a lot of lurkers. They find a window. They can start working on these depots.
Yeah.
That's going to open a nice window if you want to run Lings in or do something crazy here. Meanwhile, still, you got Link Pump. They're not really building towards that next step, but the pressure they're putting on is so immense here. Look at these lurkers running forward. No repair.
Late scan.
No repair. Starting to work on things.
Now. It costs a lot of SCVs, but it is effective. But there's not that many SCVs to send here. It looks like they will break through. 2 Marines on the high ground, already prepared to give up this low ground, saying, "All right, I guess I'm not holding it." Well, very smartly there, doesn't mineral drill the SCVs immediately. He kind of just moved commands them first, so they were still spread out and get wrecked by the lurkers. But so many Lings coming in here. Looks like Linker Pump's out for blood. He doesn't want to give him a chance to come back here. 2 Marines show up at the 3rd of the Zerg, though. Can they kill a bunch of drones? And Terran holding on this high ground. You know, Terran doesn't really need the natural right now. But those Marines do get cleaned out. Actually, yeah, Zerg is looking at a dominant position. If those Marines did huge damage somehow, it might have been different. But as it stands, Zerg's just happily on his like 2 base 3 gas economy, basically, because he's hardly mining at the 3rd. Hardly any drones to natural. He's saying, I don't need drones, all I need is lurkers.
I mean, I feel like sometimes that's how the games do go here. But slowing down, Kiko back on 1 base here. Queen's Nest finally on the way, so going to be working towards that next step of the tech. I would love to see more drones, maybe a 4th base being taken while Gigo's so holed up here. I would love to see something like that instead, but still, he's in a great position, holding off the Terran to just be very conservative. And how do you get out here? Because like I'm looking around, I guess you work towards tanks and starports on the way, but you're still miles away from irradiating this mobile detection. This is going to be such a difficult situation to fix.
Yeah, this tech here is extremely late, right? And there's no real way to get down there until you have Vessel, I think, because your scans are not really going to last you. Oh, look at that, burrowing under the command center. I don't know if it's such a good idea. If he gets hit by a siege mode shot, it could be painful, but nonetheless, they're all compressing there. I suppose he's expecting Terran to try and come down just for fire, but Terran certainly doesn't look like they're planning that. Oh, killing one of his turrets there because apparently it's blocking mining or something? Why is he killing all his turrets? What does he want to build there?
I don't know. Maybe it was blocking mining or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of SUVs in the main, though. I mean, at some point, like, if you just let this happen, you're going to mine out that main quick. The later this goes, the harder it is to actually get out of here. You can see this could just keep getting worse and worse for the Terran player here. The lurkers are under that CC. Scan goes down. The tank trying to get something done. It's hard to see what's going on. Link's going to make sure that you leave that thing alone. So we'll see if he can keep doing things, but he's retreating with some of these Hydras. So it looks like finally get that hive tech going.
Oh, this is the problem with stacking them. That tag just kills them all with a few shots. Now Terran can actually come out here, and I mean, Zerg's army doesn't look that big. He has some defenses, but I don't know. Terran could potentially do a lot. But he has very limited detection, right? Only one scan left. The science facility that he's finishing. He needs to lift up that CC like right now. Oh my gosh, there it goes. It's a few more links for his trouble, I guess.
Oh, you don't want to see that get infested? Come on, live the dream.
Yeah, if he had a queen, sure. Oh my god, he's building a queen, all right. Okay, look, this marine's coming down. Scan goes down, takes out that lurker with ease, and like I said, now the Terran is out, and he actually has a formidable force here, given that Zerg doesn't have that much. Loading up into a dropship, but there's a Scourge everywhere. This actually kind of might be the move that really gives Zerg the game, because if that gets intercepted, that's a considerable part of Terran's very small force. So is that CC damage enough for the Queen? I don't know how much damage it has to take. Is it 50%? I'm not sure.
I think
the Queen is on its way.
I think it's 50%. I would love
Well, it's still fine then.
Yeah,
it's on 840 out of 1500, so it's still fine. Does Zerg see this Overlord? I can only imagine he does, because he's probably watching this Queen like a hawk.
And he's got, well, I mean, you could just let them chill there. Like, you don't even have to react to that here. Here comes two.
Don't you? Don't you? Okay, I guess you don't.
Well, I like what he did. He went behind just in case there was that fast reaction to retreat off. So cut off the retreat. Definitely gets that big win there. Consume on the way now, working towards those Ling upgrades. Going to get that adrenaline glance. And look at all these lurkers moving down the map here. A little more damage. That Queen's just waiting. It's hanging out right by the natural. It wants to do shenanigans.
Well, unfortunately, the CC got completely repaired, though, so it's going to be a bit harder. But more lurkers coming up here, but the tanks are out. The Consumer's on the way, though, and Terran needs to get way more space on the map, or he will just lose to a single Dark Swarm at this rate. Vessel is out, but I mean, how many Defilers are there going to be? Is there really going to be just one for it to cleanly irradiate?
I'm actually surprised. We're seeing another dropship being made instead of kind of stacking these vessels, trying to get some value. I feel like at this point, with your economy looking this bad, you need that energy unit, that free kills, like anything to get back in here. That one vessel, if that dies, this is looking way worse here. Radiant on the way. More upgrades for the bio as well, but this is still so many lurkers here. You see, it's just going to start whittling down, but we'll see how Lane Pump goes. Like, still in a pretty good spot here.
Yeah, the Defiler is a fair way off because he didn't build them and send them here before Consumer's ready. So Terran getting some space, but it's still dangerous. There's Scourge there already for the vessel, like you say. He can't afford to lose that. But we'll see if this second drop does anything, but the Scourge have already been replaced. He needs to find a sneakier way to get this dropship out. If he just goes the same path, the Overlord's spotted instantly. It looks like he's sitting it south, so maybe he can loop around. There's always a chance.
Finally, a fourth base for the Zerg being taken over at that top right. And yeah, Consume done. Plague on the way now as well, so gonna have those great upgrades. All this energy here. And hey, look at that dropship off to the bottom right. It's gonna find something, but that's Army not involved in this fight. Here comes that Darkstorm. Oh, no.
Radiates the Defiler, but I mean, he's in a very difficult position because Zerg could just run into his natural now. He's ready to infest that command center. More reinforcements on the way, including another Defiler. That vessel does have a lot of energy, though. Oh, saves the tank somehow. Or does he? Lings. Oh, barely take it out.
Still a lot of lurkers still alive here. Here's the move forward.
Trying to block him.
More defilers
Oh
here.
gosh.
There's not enough of a radius to slow this down. The drop moving across that right side of the map, maybe there's an opportunity, but still, you know, Link Pump got the damage, got the pressure up at the front here. Plague's about to finish as well. Fire bats are made. There's at least something you can do under Dark Swarm, but the units moving forward are going to be near that CC. We're looking for that Zerg moment that everyone wants to see. Drop at the 12 o'clock, though.
Yeah, there is a lurker there, but if he scans, he can easily take out a lurker with a Marine Medic, or Marine 5 in this case, I guess.
Drop goes
And
through,
yeah,
Scourge not
Scourge
there,
is
so at least some opportunity to get some damage done here, but still, fight's
Oh,
going
just loops
on.
up again, off he goes. Let's move on to the next one. That's a good move, because he kept it with number of drones, but the Dark Storm continues. Oh, a Radiance number to fire, but Terran's running out of space to run here. He's running out of forces to fight with too, those other medics and Marine Exile, but the drones continue to fall. Lincoln really not reacting to this drop. Drone count plummeting, even though Zerg taking another base in the top right.
I mean, there's still just a lot of units here. Like, it's going to be hard. You actually see the CC gets lifted up. It's got plenty of health, though, in the air. Nothing's going to damage it, but the Dark Swarm's pressing up, now up the ramp. There's fire bats in that bunker. The bunker does fall, but like this force that we're seeing here, while the drop's doing so much damage, it's just Tico's losing the ground every time this push keeps moving a little bit further forward. The Filer's pulling their weight in gold here.
Yeah, I mean, this drop continuing. Scourge coming in finally, and a lurker looks like he's going to clean this up if barely, because Terran really has limited scans here to use. But it did its damage. But that said, Terran, I mean, he still has SCVs. That's the only thing he's really got going for him. If he's able to reclaim that natural, he has plenty of SCVs to bind. But look at all these lurkers. How can he possibly survive this? I think this is the end for Terran. But they're having a lot of trouble getting up the ramp. And the Dark Swarm just ran out, actually. These tanks in a nice position are pelting away at them. Marines trying to do their damage, but that's just suicidal. Oh my gosh, that's so many lurkers, though. Not going in range of the tanks, actually backed up a bit, and Burry's in the perfect spot to get shot. Okay, changed his mind. Now he goes in, but oh, one tank shell just does so much damage. Then Marine, I think, will clean up. So many lurkers just falling now. A lot of Terran buildings falling at the same time, though. All of them getting terribly damaged.
Yeah, and now there's more vessels. You get that free mobile detection. Got a raise to help out here. Damage was good, but I feel like especially not going to the tanks on that left side. There's an opportunity here to really make sure. And when you weren't paying attention to those drops, we saw that a lot of drones ended up getting killed. Like, it feels like there's an opportunity for Link Pump to really close this game out, but now it's like, I'm not saying it's good for Kiko, but it's not as good as it should have been for the Zerg.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he still has 18 drones. I feel like it's enough, given the position Terran's in, but Terran, going to repair the CC again. He doesn't want it infested after all, he knows. That Queen, goes for a Parasite, but oh. Is it really worth irradiating a Queen in this scenario? I mean, I guess if it had Broodling, it'd be scary, but it didn't. I guess he doesn't know. Even researches Restoration instantly. Kiko's like, I may lose this game, but I'm having none of these Queen shenanigans. I'm shutting that down hard. I'll irradiate it. I'm going to get restored to get rid of that Parasite. There's no way for you.
I gotta do the small shout out to Scourge killed the only vessel that wasn't parasited. Like,
Yeah.
that extra focus, a little attention to detail. That's so fantastic.
Alright, bunch of Ultras coming across here, but they have no carapace upgrade whatsoever. And Terran has +2 weapons. Not that he has very many Marines, but if he did, these Ultras would not be worth much. And the tanks too will do great damage on them as well. Chitinous not even complete. Presumably he's at least going to wait for that, because only Ultras got Chitinous, so just kind of hilarious blood bags.
Yeah, I'm actually not in love with this choice to go Ultras. I feel like that's your lazy way to spend the money you've been building up. That could have been more bases, more hatcheries, maybe a greater Spire gets a couple of those Guardians to kind of slow push your way through, force Terra to do something instead. Like, I think those kind of moves would be a little better, but a lot of Ultras, but it's not like Kiko is going to be moving into the middle of the map. You're going to try to force your way through into this tiny choke. It's going to be hard to actually get anything done here.
Looks like he wants to try it. Chitinous is finished. 4 tanks on the high ground, the vessels see the threat. Presumably they're going to throw some radiates. So Scourge he really wants to absorb those Scourge, huh? Run right into them. Okay, here comes the Ultralist, slow Ultralist. Tanks doing the damage from the high ground. There's not many Marines here. As effective as they're going to be, you need more. And I think he's going to be forced to lift his CC again at least. Can he even hold his ramp? I'm not so sure. Looks like the Ultralist trying to get in there. One medic just ruining their day, though. They just can't do anything about that. SCVs as well, blocking perfectly. And he's actually going to hold this. I mean, at what cost, though? He did lose a lot of SCVs. But nonetheless, Zerg is pushed back again. And there's a drop going to the top right. Oh my god, can Kiko win this game? Surely it's not possible. Surely.
I feel like if the game ends up going away where Kiko does somehow steal the victory out of it, this is where you go like, I got lazy. These ultras, like I was saying, it's so hard to push your way through the small area. Drop out of vision, go towards that fourth base. There's only a couple drones here, but still shutting down another base for the Zerg.
Oh,
they could have
had. Okay, they ran away. They were too late to stop the drop, I guess.
Yeah,
Irradiating more Ultralisks. He needs to secure this third, though, because he's going to run out of minerals very soon. He needs to get that third up and running. That's the only way he can stay in this game.
Yeah, it's still going to be very hard. I think the more you push out away from anything, like this bunker we're seeing at the front, I see that you're trying to reestablish what you can. The drop at the top right is going to get cleaned up by all these Langs. Still actually doing some pretty decent damage. But remember, like what we've been seeing all game, Kiko's back in a supply lead. It's been quite a while since it's happened. These ultras, like there's a decent amount of them, but you're not even working with the Evo chamber to keep the armor going or any of these kind of things. I'm really worried.
No upgrade
I'm so worried about this. I really am.
Yeah, no upgrade whatsoever for the Ultralisks. At least they have speed now, but nonetheless, without armor upgrades, they will get chewed up by a sufficient amount of bio pretty easily. Oh, there's a Defiler now, though. This might be the game-ending move if... Oh, dematrixing that dropship. That dropship's going to be huge, but is there time? Because this Dark Storm Ultra attack is going to come in here, and that might just be too much. There's still a tanks in position, though, so maybe Terran just has to pull back to the high ground for a bit again, which he seems adept at doing by this time. Irradiates the Defiler, great move there. But another swarm's going to go down. No, it's short on energy. I don't know why. It has like 90 energy. The drop sneaking past the Scourge, hardly even needed the defense matrix, and the attack at the natural is repulsed. Oh my god, this is going to do huge damage.
Well, the drones will get pulled out, not going to lose that, but all the techs right here, you can get that Spire, get that Ultralist Cavern, get all these like ways for Ling to actually make it. And look, there's not a bank of money because they've been so light on drones. They didn't take these extra expansions. The Ultras get pulled back. They're going to try to defend this. The spawning pool is killed, going for the Spire as well. That means no more Scourge to have to deal with. And Laypup has a lot of gas, and that's going to be harder to spend it, actually. So I'd actually love that move a lot. And that does take all the army back. A couple free drone kills, but that let Kiko walk out of his natural and start to actually get on the map a little bit comfortably.
Like I said, he still needs this third base, though. He's going to mine out very soon. By the way, I'd say the only thing higher priority than the Spider kill would be the Evo Chamber, in my opinion. Because without Scourge, what can Zerg do? Look at this, he's going to send these vessels across. But there are some Scourge out already, I thought. At the third, we see some. And there's still a couple hanging around in the main side. Now, this is a bit bold, but if he just radiates these Ultras and runs back, he's looking good. Oh, he wants more, though. Oh, they're so low. He's actually going to finish them off with that, too. Great move there. And now he's just going to run back before the Scourge can get there.
Yeah, I mean,
dropship gets spotted. Oh, but he kind of stops. Oh, do you see that Duke? The Lings are like, he's going to the top right. But these Scourge on patrol. Oh, will he slip past at the perfect timing? I don't think he will.
Just barely. Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, I guess there were plenty of Zerg ground forces there at that time anyway. Then can Terran even afford a command center at this point?
I mean, they got ones that already exist. There's still a decent amount of money at the natural, but yeah, that mineral only. Even if it's just the mineral only, you gotta take a third base as Terran here.
I mean, Marines are pretty good. That's fine. Mineral only is okay for Terran in this scenario. The natural gas is nowhere near depleted because he's going to be mining with 2 for a while, and it was knocked back for a long time too. He has a good number of tanks though. Well, the thing is, if Terran could decisively beat the Zerg army, he might just be able to do a deadly push as well. That's also a possibility, but that's very tricky with Zerg spread out all over the map as he is. That said, Zerg's army looks weak. If Terran can actually force it into engaging, he would win the fight. Nice irradiates going down. Oh, all the Defilers are radiated. What can Zerg do? He's trying to consume, but there's no time for that. Doesn't even have the energy for a single Dark Swarm. Zerg compelled to retreat again. Terran looking really scary right now. Not building a CC yet, but he's taking that position of a bunk.
It's still just managing to find some space, get on the map, and this army from Kiko, like if you don't have those Defilers and you haven't been keeping up on the upgrades for the Ultras, this is still pretty intimidating here. That first weapon's pretty far away, but still it's 2-2 bio, plenty of tank support, all these vessels as well. There's not a lot of medics with this is the only thing that you might be thinking about that could go awry.
He only needs one fight, right? Okay, there goes the stim. Thing is, if Zerg can bait stims, that would actually be a good way to win this, wouldn't it? Because with no medics. But I mean, is he baiting stims or suffering from irradiates? And here comes the Zergs now engaging, but there's too many tanks, too many Marines.
Oh, the Scourge over the medics. All the Scourge flying the Marines.
Zerg hardly has anything left. None of these Defilers have been able to do anything so far. only a couple of ultras running around. He's so close to the main here. CC is trying to land here. A single ultra is trying to go counter it. Just a few Marines in that bunker would defend that. Another drop is going out during all this as well, especially since all their Scourge just died. So many Scourge at the natural here. I wonder if they would have been better off with something else, like maybe Lurkers. Swarm goes down, but does he even care with that many tanks there? Only helping him against the Sunken as well. Okay, so prepping for his counterattack. At the same time, Terran hitting the top right. And there's nothing to defend there. These few Lings will force this CC to lift. And although Terran isn't mining, has he mined all that he needs? Oh my gosh, this is such a close game. A tank and 2 Marines might barely be able to do the job, but that tank will fall, I think. Nice stim.
Another move forward. Yeah, gonna move forward some more. There's not really in defense, no stack defense, no lurkers or anything. Scourge can't get any real big connection. Still a decent amount of vessels as well. Here goes that drop as well over that top right base. I heard a lurker shot. I'm not sure where it was at. There's so much action happening all over the map here.
GG. Wow, what a comeback. That was crazy.
Yeah, Kiko, man, like that is ridiculous that he managed to make that game happen. But I'm going to go back and say it. Like, Ling Pump got to the point where it's like, I should win this game. No more bases. Didn't worry about drops. I'm just mashing the Ultralisk key. Like, I feel like that was a game that was maybe kind of given away.
Yeah, I agree. Like, especially with no upgrades. That's the main thing I see here. And just didn't re-drone very much after those drops either.
Yeah, that's still awesome game back and forth. Love seeing those kind of games where there's just a lot of action. You just don't know how it's going to turn out. So glad to see stuff like that. Hopefully we got 2 more games tonight. We're going to see some more things like that. I'd be thrilled to death if that was what we were dealing with tonight. All right, we're going into that next game. In the top right, in the yellow Zerg, it's RK Yenta. And in the top left, in the green Proas, it's Ash Jedi 1. So, getting back to...
in a bit of trouble in a different PvZ, but hopefully you can do better in this one. See how Yenta chooses to play it. But yeah, that last one was weird as hell. I don't think we're going to see a repeat of that.
No, that was an extra weird kind of style. I kind of loved it though, watching all those links. Like it's very like one of those, you write it like in Discord, it's like, hey, I got this great strategy. I make all these links. That means I can afford all these hatcheries and tons of larvae, and I'm just all over the place. Like that doesn't sound right, but then you watch it in action, it was actually pretty cool. We are seeing Yenta, that first Overlord Scout's going to go right to the Frost base. Always nice little fortune advantage if you can get there right away and see what's going on.
Yeah, it is quite fortunate, I suppose, in this case that he spawned like that. I mean, do you think Zerg rather would be cross map though on a map like this, or do you think they're happy to be close positions? I guess it depends what strat they have in mind.
I think you wouldn't mind being cross map if you could, but if you're gonna be close, I actually think you'd prefer like what is set up now instead of like Pross bottom right, because you got that super fast path to mutas if they want to be annoying and harass, if that's your kind of style. Ooh,
Alright, it's going to be Gateway again.
Yeah, Gateway first. We saw that from Jedi Y before, and like we were saying, the higher tier games tend to be more common. And also just a thing among players. Typically, they're either a Gateway guy or a Forge guy. I don't see a lot really vary both up. Usually, you just kind of grind out the one, let it rock. We are seeing from Yenta, Hatchery first. Is that right? Interesting.
Yeah. That gives a nice economic lead to the Zerg here, but you have to deal with the Zealots, of course.
Yeah, he's going to get that Overlord there, see the Gateway, and be like, well, you're not going to sneak out a free win against the Forge stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how this one goes. Here goes that pool. Just getting started as the Gateway just finishes up, so those first Zealots. And Jedi 1, can he... Oops. I am bad with some of this sort of stuff. He doesn't see that Overlord, so it doesn't give away the position of where the Zealot's got to go.
Wow, that's very precise then. Because it really looks like it's on the edge. That's really well done then if he's not giving away. But as you say, spawning pool not even finished yet. So definitely potential for drones to die. But that's the thing, he doesn't know. He doesn't even know if it's nightfall at this point. But that is kind of his own fault, isn't it? Because he didn't even send a scouting probe. Not sure what the deal is with that.
We saw that in the first game as well. Remember, he wasn't scouting out either. Like, he just like, I got my build. I'm thinking pretty comfortable. You get the extra probes for the money. You feel comfortable getting this Nexus. So I think if that's just the style you're going for, because he did this in the first one as well. The first Zealot was on the ramp to block, not trying to send him out for pressure right away. So we'll see if this ends up working out. Unfortunately, Yenta, he's got that drone scout moving around, and look, it's a free third base down at the bottom right. So
Yeah. So about this Nexus, right? I think that's fine. Like everything is 9 pool, I think this is fine. But is there any reason you shouldn't be scouting as well anyway? Just so you know 100% what's going on.
I wouldn't do it. That sounds
I know, it
terrifying.
just feels like it's crazy to not even scout at all. Because, like, in this case, he could have actually just moved out and got the Nexus, right? And been super annoying for Zerg, but now he's stuck staying home because he just had no idea, even now, that it was head first.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the Zealots back at home, but here comes some Lings. Remember that with that hatchery first, all that extra larva, they're going to be able to start working down. We saw what happened last time. If you kill that first gateway, it just puts everything in a twist. So we'll see how the fight's going here. The Zealots being very careful not to get caught out. The Lings doing all the damage they can. A fourth one comes out, so don't want to take that fight straight up. But Yenta, if he wants to micro around and kind of do what they can, they're going to back off instead. Doesn't want to risk any kind of big shenanigans. Keeps the units alive. Starts mining gas, but we're going to see where that first 100 gas ends up going. If it is going to be for Ling speed, yes it is, instead of a fast lair.
Okay. It even cuts off gas, so it says to me he intends a Ling all in here.
Yeah, I'm not particularly sure if that's something you would want to do. I mean, this wall seems pretty good. It's just got the one hole in the middle, right? So it's going to be hard to kind of bust your way through. Probe manages to get to the bottom right, sees that there's a hatchery made. Not going to see his opponent, but at least has some idea of what's going on.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? If you're going for a Ling bust against Gateway opening, if they come across with the Zealots and you surround them, you're like, okay, GG, you're dead. But if they don't leave their base, they have a lot of Zealots at their disposal to help defend this. So I don't know. It's very risky. Okay, I say this, but he resumed gas. I'm not sure why he did the cut. I guess he wanted this fast 4 hatchery. So I guess he's not going for a Ling all in here, but I am perplexed as to what he's doing with like the 4 hatchery before layer play.
Well, I mean, I wonder if we're going to see the same kind of thing we just saw, because again, it's another fast evolution chamber. Sure. We're going to see this get built again.
Gosh, maybe.
Like I'll be honest, I haven't watched a whole lot of the Korean Pro. Is this like some larva doing some weird stuff, like ruining the metagame?
Not in
ASL
everybody? Finals, he wasn't.
It's hard to keep track of so much content to watch, but here comes those Zealots. Jedi1 wants to see what's going on. He's going to try to take the fight. +1's way off here, but still 5 Zealots pretty strong as it is. Yet doesn't have to take this fight if he doesn't want to. First Sunken Colony about to finish up as well. Decent Sim City, I think, as well. 4 Lings going down. The Lings are Zealots are going to have to take this fight now with the Sunken helping. I think the Lings are going to clean this up without too much issue at all. Managing to clean up all this from Jedi1. He's got to be very careful. And Yenta's got all this larva. He can start droning up. He can be greedy, or he can put the foot down and get some real aggression going.
I mean, yeah, it looks like maybe he could almost break through here. There's only 2 Zealots, but I don't know. If probes pull as well, it doesn't seem like a worthwhile proposition for the Zerg. And you know, maybe you're right. Maybe this is just what Zergs do now, apparently, because we're seeing Carapace coming up, continuing just to drone, no lair. This is actually pretty much repeating what we saw before, so Jedi1 probably having flashbacks. These things trying to get through, but ultimately it's futile. It's a bit of a sacrifice to the Kronos right there, giving up 70 links for free. And look at those Zealots, they only lost shields.
Well, those cans were in a good spot because you saw him going for that forge. If he could stop that +1 attack upgrade, this could have been huge for him. But unfortunately, 2 cans there in range, going to be able to cover that forge and make sure nothing too crazy is happening. But a couple drones getting transferred down to that bottom right. A free base to take as the bottom right main as well whenever the Zerg wants to do it. But we'll see if this...
Did these Zergs in this group just gang up and be like, alright, for Jedi1 we're going to do weird shit. We're going to make only Lings, and then we're going to make Mutas and Queens and Guardians. Because he must be having flashbacks right now. We don't know which order the game's playing. I'm assuming this one's played afterwards. And he must be going like, not again.
I mean, I could actually look that up. I could see which game was played first. That'd be actually interesting, because I feel like we are seeing between the 2 games there was differences, right? Because like that first Zealot move out, he waited till he had a couple more. He wasn't like on the peak having +1, so I feel the timing was a little different. He's got these Corsairs. He's trying to be active with them a little bit. Another Zealot move out here. They got speed. They got +1, so a little bit of an intimidating force. And that Zerg Carapace is nowhere near done. So looking for an opportunity to maybe get something done here. There are a Sunken and a Spore at the front, some decent building placement. I think he's going to go for that bottom right, though, because the defense there is not quite set up just yet. We'll see where he wants to actually go with these Zealots. He seems a little indecisive.
I think he could have hit the natural, but now his window's closing because the lings are coming out. It would have been dicey, I suppose. It is hard to access that in the sunken. But look how many lings just hatched. Now he just needs to go home because if he gets caught, it's going to be painful. We see the same kind of strategy from Jedi One actually, going straight into 2 DTs here. Presumably Storm coming up before too long. Decent engage there for those Zealots just before +1 Carapace. Anti-timing coming from the Zerg there. Actually able to clean up a lot of them. So he's really maintaining an aggressive map control here, which is a lot better than I think the other game.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about this though. Well, I don't know about this. Well, that's a lot of Zealots though. Is it enough?
As long as you can get on that sunken, there's plenty of surface area. He's gonna bypass all of this. Yeah, if he's taking a lot of free damage. If he wants to go into the main and fight, the drone's gonna drill on the ramp. Free opportunity to get some big damage here. And there's some Corsairs here. Lots of Overlords to go kill off. There's only just the one Spore for anti-air right now. So this is actually big damage from Jedi One. This attack doing so much here. Very different looking game compared to what we saw earlier in the set. So love the changes here.
Have fallen already. Unfortunately, not targeting drones now though. Trying to find the links. Oh, there's another drone you can kill. Boom. Wrong place, wrong time for that guy. Yeah, but now he's just gonna get picked off. But I think it was well worth it for the Protoss, given how much damage he did. That's it. His gateway count is still remarkably low. We don't see any Templars out. Huge gas bank coming up. So Protoss macro has definitely faltered a bit during this. The DT is not going to get anything done. The scores up everywhere.
Yeah, I actually like this base setup for seeing. It's got the Sunkers, but each one has a Spore. You can protect your Overlords if you're committed to just kind of turtling up and being defensive. But Yenta didn't take that 4th base nearly as fast as we saw in the first game. But look at these lings bleeding down the map. If these Zealots are trying to move around, DT's trying to move down to the bottom as well. But can these lings get something done? Dude, there's not a hole at that opening by the natural. If you want to just run in and start causing havoc, I think you have an opportunity to do it.
Yeah, possibly. Well, he's not going to try it, though. I think he got PTSD from last time. Oh, or is he? Well, he's still returning home.
Ah, man, that would have been nice. The one leg confirmed. It's like, ooh, chance.
Yeah.
It would have been good. But some Templar on the way, working towards the Robo as well, so we'll be able to have the detection as you need it here. Decent amount of Corsairs are around as well, so we'll see. I think Protoss is going to buy time, get Storm up without too much issue here. And yet to not taking that 4th base, this is a lot less of a scary situation to be in, I think, because Yenta's not on the map. He's not being really aggressive moving around with all these lings and anything. And actually, Jedi 1 managed to start taking that 3rd Nexus, so definitely a different look as these Corsairs go into the main trying to find something.
But at the same time, Yenta not as committed to this weird style. He's already getting +1 missile weapons and Hydra speed, so it is deviating for sure. Yeah, I do like Protoss' position a lot more. I just really could have started the Templars earlier. But Zerg content to sit back and try and re-drone after that aggression that came on. And you know what, Zerg not with a 4th base either. In that other game, we saw the Zerg expanding way faster than this. So honestly, Protoss is looking good. If he gets this 3rd up and defended, this 3 base versus 3 base, that's pretty good for Protoss.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit interested to see, because the Corsairs have been moving around pretty active. They see where all the Spores are, but there's not a lot of Scourge or real anti-air or anything like that. And he's going for a shuttle. There's a Storm drop potential, or is it actually just DTs instead? So gonna bypass that ridiculous front wall defense, see if he can find some opportunity to get something done instead.
If he just snipes that Spore, the Corsairs can prevent the Overlords from coming back in, and that'll be that. But he can't give it away so quickly, though. My gosh. Oh, he's not going to try. I'm disappointed, because I think those 3 DTs could snipe that Spore before the Sunken killed them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Is he going to try? Is he going to try? Where are the Corsairs going? You need to use them in tandem. I don't know what these Corsairs are doing right now. Okay, well, he's going to go for it anyway, and I mean, even if he doesn't have Corsairs here, he can still get a lot done. With no Overlord speed here, this is actually brutal.
Oh, look at these lings, though, up at the 3rd base. So many Templar here. No Storms just yet being cast. Lings trying to get whatever damage they can done to this base. They're not going to be able to kill the Nexus. Enough Zealots are here to help defend this. The shuttle is revealed as it comes back to defend.
That's pickup.
Yeah, it's picking up Templar. And now look at the DTs on the move here towards that detection. There's a couple lings to help out as well. Let's see if they can get it done. They're going. I think that's a good move. Get that killed off real fast. And now there's nothing here to defend. They can watch you kill everything. They don't care.
But he could have got the Spore there, I feel like, before these units came up, and now this all gets eliminated. I honestly feel like the Spore is still the correct choice there. Because then he would still be here doing damage, but now he just gets picked off instantly.
I wouldn't have minded the Sunken than the Spore. That seems like it would have been the best way to go here.
He had a couple of seconds to kill the Spore, but chose not to take it, unfortunately. So I really don't think that was worth it for 3 DTs. He did not kill that many drones.
No, but still, just trying to be a little bit aggressive here. It's not like J1's situation's looking bad. Healthy probe count, decent economy here, sets up that third base, and he's kind of moving forward to everything you want. Muta switch from Yenta, going to start producing some air, because you haven't seen more Corsairs really get added on. He's had the couple, but that's all he's really worked on, and I don't think he even got the +1 air this game, so... You know, different kind of look, but now we're starting to add Dragoons in. You got plenty of Storms, so you got to be very careful how to engage this as J1 moving forward here. Now with the ranged Dragoons, wants to break through the stack defense.
I don't know. There's a lot of Hydras behind it, though, and that is a great Sim City. I'm not so sure, but there are Storms available. Not going down just yet. Where are the Storms? Where are the Storms? There we go. There's one. That's a nice one. There's another one on the ramp. So, yeah, these Hydras getting picked off and getting into the mineral line. Storm on the mineral line would be decisive here. Zerg sluggish and sending the reinforcements from the other base. These Zealots are really getting in there now. Oh, there's the Storm on the drones. Just blows up everything, including a friendly Zealot. Will he throw down another one? Well, it doesn't matter. The damage coming already been done. Zerg coming in with the reinforcements here. If you can pick up all those goons quickly, then maybe you can still hold this.
Well, I mean, here comes some mutas. There's still Storms available, so these mutas, they're not really doing enough here. The Hydras from the back are going to be doing good. Yeah, Yenta just took too much damage.
That's a nice freeze frame. All the Hydra's getting stormed there. Alright, I just need a 1 minute break before we get to the next game.
Not a problem.
I know you're just waiting for this opportunity to shill everything, so I'll give it to you.
Yeah, what kind of cast would it be if I didn't have that opportunity? You know I'll take it whether I get the chance or not. Which, speaking of shilling, guys, this has been our return to CPL Week 1 cast of the preseason. Tuesdays, Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. It's going to be the weekly thing, just like it's been in the past plenty of times. Follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, spread the word of the channel, tell your friends to come check it out as well. So we'll be doing preseason until we're into the regular deal, and then we're casting teams, we're casting games, we got all this stuff. If you want more StarCraft action, don't worry, there's other people casting too. I believe we got Pancake Princess, one of our new casting coordinators. They're going to be casting something earlier in the day tomorrow, and then Cold Warp Gates slotting in into the late night. The smooth Cold Warp Gate is going to be helping you get some more StarCraft action later on Thursday. So you got more action to go. It won't be on this channel, it'll be on their own respective ones, I believe, so not a big deal. Other than that, you know, you're in preseason week 2. If you're in CPL, play your games, upload your replays. When I've been looking around for some, there's people who are like, well, how do I get my game casted? Well, if the replay is not in the folder, I'm not casting it. So, you know, be good about uploading replays. Give me more options. I kind of float through, see the lengths of the games and who's playing. I'm like, ooh, this one looks good. I kind of pick around. So if you don't give me the chance, I can't cast your game. So, ooh, Cold Warp is in the chat himself. Fantastic. Yeah, he's going to be casting stuff tomorrow, I believe. What groups? I don't know. I haven't sent him anything yet. We'll figure that out later. I'm sure he's going to cast something fun, though. If you're looking for more StarCraft action, don't worry about like the actual CPL stuff. Don't forget, in the Discord, we got like looking for game channels. You can be finding things to do other than that. Or, you know, the ladder's still there. You can play Plasma all you want, I guess. But hopefully everyone's just having a good time with preseason. Getting excited for CPL as we really get back into the swing of things.
Speaking of back into the swing of things, I'm back, so let's start up that game.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, unfortunately, this is the last game of the night, guys.
Oh.
Sorry. Like, we only got so much time to cast stuff, but hey, we've had some good games before. Hopefully the last one's going to be a good one as well. We're not going to end on anything too bad. No more TBT this time. We're going into that final game in the top right in the yellow Zerg. It's IRK Yenta. In the bottom left, in the blue Terran, it's Kiko. After that ridiculous defense where he held on. Excited to watch this guy play some more TVC.
Well, if he knows he can win from such a desperate position, surely if this game goes normally, he'll be crushing, right?
Well, hopefully. I mean, I think Yenta, he's been around CPL for a while. A little more foresight that you don't go, I won the game, and then stop trying to win more. Like, that's not...
Oh, I think Lingapump has been in since Season 3 as well, though, so... I don't know, anyone can make that mistake for sure.
Oh, I've done it plenty of times myself. But I think that I just, like, funnily, I'm thinking back, I was like, I have only seen them play ZVZ. Maybe late game is not what they do.
I've had plenty of times in TVP where I'm like, oh, I can win now, right? And I try and advance my army over open ground, and boom, the stasis gets like 6 tanks or something, and then you die. Kiko doing this wall again. Ah, man, I really hate this wall. You saw how painful it was for him last time.
Yeah, it definitely didn't pan out the way you wanted to. So
If you're
yeah,
going mech, like definitely it's good, but like with bio, I'm just like, ugh. I'm like wincing, you know, like, oh, there's going to be pain later because of this.
yeah. No, and see, actually, yeah, he did manage to close that one out. It's pretty wild. There's you can watch the VOD. Just check it out in the archives. Like it's gonna definitely a good one. You should watch it. It's exciting. But yeah, we're getting that wall again. I know you're not the biggest fan. We'll see what we're gonna see from Yenta, because if they're stealing strategies, the Zergs are gonna be doing their own kind of weird stuff. I'm curious to see if it will be a little bit more of the unusual style. But I think Yenta in this matchup, I've seen him play a little bit more traditional stuff. So expecting to hatch Muta, nothing too crazy.
Well, beware the man who's capable of going Hydras in CBZ. He could do anything.
Yeah, everyone could be a wild man, and the wildest thing a wild man could do is play normal, right?
Oh, that's true. That's true. But yeah, as far as I know, in TBC, as you say, nothing crazy is gonna happen. Go for 2 hatch so far. This SCV is not seeing anything. Again, this overall positioning very nice that you can see everything, but nothing can see you. I like the drone scouts. Good safety measure. A lot of Zergs skip it, but then they get punished really hard by the Vulture coming in there.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of the details I don't really notice that much. Do you usually scout with 2 SCVs like this?
Yes, if you want to be safe, because if you only scout one direction, you scout last and it's 9 pull, the links will beat your base before you know it. And the only way to defend it is to pull SCVs to block, especially with this awkward wall on the low ground.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what ends up happening here. A little stop of the Marine production wants to get that CC going right away. So Kiko, come into the guns, doing the same kind of build again, but we'll see if it's against something different this time.
Yeah, well, I like that he's cutting that Marine to get that CC fast when he scouts the hatchery. But what's interesting is going for this fast gas. So we might see like an academy immediately and going for a really fast skim time. But cross map, I doubt it very much. He could be trying to go eBay first, even though it's against a 2-hatch build, which means, yeah, there's that eBay. This is interesting because it gives you a strong advantage, obviously, having fast upgrades. But the thing is, you won't have stimomedics in time for Mutalisks when they hit you. But cross map, you know, that window will be a little narrower. You can get your turrets up. If you can just delay Zerg a little bit, then you can kind of get away with having a really, really good powering build against this 2-hatch tech play.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw that last time, though, the eBay before the Academy, and then it kind of got him in a little bit of trouble.
Well, that was different, though, because Zerg was going for a very fast lair there. Like, he went for pull before hatch, so you have to get the eBay faster to get turrets on time in that case.
All right, well, let's see how that wall holds up to the thing you were worried about the last time. The moment that scout dies, Hydrogen down with the natural, so if that first scan goes through in the main, he won't even see that in time. This could be real bad here, so we're gonna see if you can get those lurkers in there, abuse that wall a little bit, and then that opens up the window for you to go into whatever game you want to go, live expanding or doing whatever aggression you feel like.
Well, never mind your scanning. His academy's not running in time, but that SCV is going to see it, no problem. But who needs to scan? He just walked right in and saw it.
Yeah, I
so
guess.
Now he knows.
Yeah, I guess so. I always wonder with stuff like this, like the Hydrogen there. Why would you put it all the way against the right, as far as it'll go? Maybe that'll help out a little bit, like little tiny stuff like that. A little building placement. Unfortunately, gets revealed, but still, it's not like lurkers. It's like, oh, you know they're coming. They're still very strong units. You still need the detection to be able to deal with it. So just because it's not a surprise anymore, it doesn't mean the build's just not going to be able to do anything.
I do not like this third rack. I think you just want to go straight to a factory against this, because obviously siege tanks are very good at both defending this and potentially attacking lurker defense. But it looks like Zerg is going to play it cool and just sit back and defend. Oh my gosh, I feel like Terran is extremely lucky here that's what Zerg is doing, because you cannot waste these scans. Like Zerg could be sitting there with like a bunch of lurkers about to morph outside his natural and come in here and attack, and like you can't waste scans. You need all of them to defend your bunkers. But instead he's coming out here, but he has made the correct read that what Zerg is doing is taking a third and using this fast lurker time to defend it. And honestly, I'm not a fan of this Zerg play either, because it's very vulnerable to drop if your opponent does go 2x tech. But I feel like both players kind of stumbling into the correct play, if that makes sense. Because Kiko's going for this 3 barracks before factory.
Yeah, well, I know you weren't a fan of the scan, but I mean, we saw this before as well. Scan at the front, Kiko moving on the map. But I think you're just really looking more for where the defense is here. But lurkers are in production here. They're going to be at the front. He's seeing more buildings being made, sunkets and creep colonies. So at least forcing a little bit of reaction. But Kiko's not going to be able to get anything done with these units here. And the lurkers are now completed. So defense is going to be ready. You have to be able to do whatever they're looking for. And they should be feeling pretty comfortable here as Kiko is going to build up back at home themselves.
Yeah. Number stand, I definitely don't think you should try and attack that. Even if there wasn't a lurker there, I don't think 6 Marines is quite enough. But I mean, it's a good position of map control here that you can just deny any lurkers from moving out, because a big threat in this kind of scenario is hold lurkers. Once you give up map control once, you don't know where they are, and anytime your army could be dying. So it's good that he's maintaining this forward position, but he just needs to be careful. If a bunch of lean and lurker comes out, you can lose this little bioforce very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, we are seeing the upgrades going through. The +1 weapons does end up finishing up. I think the Marines got all their upgrades now from the Academy. Working towards armor, but yet a different kind of style. Look at this fast Queen's Nest. Skipping through the Spire Tech entirely, going to be rushing towards Hive Tech. Love seeing stuff like that. I think it's very fun, especially against low kind of Marine counts. Starstorm's so potent in these situations.
Yeah, I expect it straight to Ultra Ride. I don't think he's going to go for Defiler here. But maybe it could be. If you have a position on the map close to the Terran, it makes more sense, because you need less dice to get to the natural. But I suspect it's going to be Ultras. Now here's the thing: even delayed, since you got that third barracks, the starport is coming up fairly quickly. So a dropship is going to be very threatening here, though, especially if you have no Spire. And I mean, lurkers can sort of fight, but if you have to lift them up and relocate them, you could just do like box and micro and pick them off. It can be very painful for Zerg. Okay, he confirms his third base. So that's good scouting intel, but I think he must have known there was a third somewhere.
Yeah, it doesn't get far enough to see what the drone saturation is, so while you do see what's going on here, I mean, I think that's reasonable. We'll see if it is going to be drops. Kiko was a big fan of those before. I just didn't know if that was like more of I'm pressed and I need an option, but I think it is actually just kind of style. Also getting siege tanks, getting that siege mode, so I think even though the game was weird last time from Kiko, we're seeing something very similar out of him. And we'll see if Yenta's play is going to be enough. It's about halfway done here. No, can't wait to see what's actually going to end up happening.
Has Terran lost a single unit in this game? Yeah.
SCVs.
Just thinking of. Oh yes, of course, the poor SCV. Never have a bloodless victory, I guess. Okay, that dropship is coming up, which I think is the correct choice here. Okay, Lurker coming forward, as I was saying. This little Bioforce is probably not going to be able to hold this. Does pull back. The Lurker's getting very aggressive, actually. Loses one just like that. That was a bit of an overextension there, actually. So far microing well, but he needs to reinforce this. I really think he needs to get all his forces together and just take this Zerg army head on, because he could really stop it from moving across here. But the dropship is out. I mean, the more distracted Zerg is trying to fight this little force, the better.
Still a lot more lurkers being made as well. You were correct. There's that Ultra's Cavern. When you're really grinding up the armor upgrades, it does make sense. It just I'm just always like, it's good for a big open field fight, but I think the way Kiko's playing with these tanks, how he has some of these buildings, we saw how that fight went like in the last one, but there wasn't the armor upgrades to help support that as well, so maybe much more potent if you really lean into the Ultras here.
Well, my thinking was that if he wanted to go Defilers immediately and try and get in there with Darkstorm, wouldn't he try and take any position he could on the map? But he's totally sitting back defensive, and that makes me think he wants the money, get those Ultras, just, beat Terran to death with a blunt object.
Oh, here comes that drop down to the bottom right. Those lurkers on the ramp not going to be able to defend the air against this. And since
what about that lurker in the main, though?
Yeah, well, it gets burrowed up here. Is this going to be enough?
He's getting ready to run up the ramp too and everything on burrows. I love this move. But he needs to be careful. He doesn't know that lurker's there. He needs to scan. Oh, that's a great first spine. The spines line up really well for the Zerg. But nonetheless, he does clean it up pretty easily. And there we go. There's the Unburrow. Those units at the ramp need to move up right now. This is their window. And Terran's going to take it. Oh my gosh, I think this third is going to fall. I don't think Zerg can actually defend this with all this stuff coming up the ramp. Just needs another scan. I assume he has plenty of energy. That scan, the Nidus is on the way. Terran can't hesitate here.
Yeah, I love that move. That was so slick to get that going. The Nidus Canal trying to get up here. I don't think you're going to be able to do it. There's not a decent amount of lurkers, but not a ton. Spreading out the Marines as best they can here. Nidus cannot actually get through. And he's got to be careful. Another stim going forward. There's still 3 lurkers here. You can't be too reckless. Kiko's taking some damage that he doesn't need to be taking right now.
Well, ultimately, it doesn't matter too much if he as long as he denies the gas. I mean, I feel like he could bust this if he just spreads himself out in an arc and goes for it. But nonetheless, without Zerg mining the gas, you don't care that much. Look at this SCV. It's like, yes, I'm part of the Zerg army, right? Let's go kill those Terrans, huh? Kill all humans, yeah. High five. Terran army nicely positioning on the ramp here. Might be able to delay these lurkers for a little bit.
I don't know. That's a lot of lurkers. I think you're ambitious. But here comes the
Oh,
radius
the vessel
just in
comes
time.
in. The hero at just the right time when they need it. Terran army pulls back in. That's a lot of lings, though. I think they will clean this up. But another nice radiate could go down. He gets some value at least.
Yeah, so this army is going to get cleaned up here. Didn't manage to get the hatchery, but still slowing down the mine at the base. It kills the extractor. Just kind of trying to buy time. But the chitinous plating is complete for the ultras. Now ultras starting to hit the field as well. Well, Kiko's army does look good. Another drop moving across the map. Going to try to hit the top side instead this time. Spire is done, so Scourge will be an option to help defend against this now.
Yeah, and I think he saw it with that Overlord, right? Like, he knows it's coming. Did he notice it, though? I don't see any units getting in position. Well, there was a bunch of lings in the main already. Is there a 5 out of that one? No, just 8 Marines, not even a medic. Wow, these vessels are brave. I guess it's a good distraction for the drop, at least, but it's like, okay,
Yeah,
you know there's got to be Scourge on the map somewhere, right? Oh my gosh.
Oh, there's lings in the main. He's definitely ready for this dropship. Even if there's not Scourge to kill, those lings are just waiting to hug him. So, trying to go through the ability placement, I think you just kind of give up on this one. No, he's looking for something.
Oh, the Scourge. One Marine. He got a Scourge, I guess. So good for him.
Yeah, I feel like we've heard that story before, and hey, right as it happens, like, I got other dropships. He's gonna move across. So again, another
Straight into the same Overlord, yeah. Okay.
A little unfortunate, not what you want to be seeing here. But hey,
well, maybe Zerg was distracted this time after the first one. No, the Scourge already in position. Well, the one Scourge he has, anyway.
Yeah, I do think though, like we're seeing Kiko, like while like these drops, they could be doing better. It's still Yenta, not as giant, biggest economy, hasn't taken that 4th base yet, so he doesn't have that big gas to like really go through. If you're going big on ultras like this, you do need some resources. There's one Scourge here that's going to do damage, but not enough to kill.
But the Link still not opting to unload in the very edge of the base. So this is the same story. He's not going to have anyone unload. The Scourge is going to finish this off. Just a few Marines coming out. Oh, they're getting good engaged against those Lings, but no stims. The Lings will clean them up. But look at this massive army Kiko's coming across. There's a lot of tanks in it as well, so Ultra's really not much of a threat. Currently, +2 carapace for the Zerg, though, is extremely strong. But Terran +2 weapons is also finished. Damn, the Irradiates are relentless. Like I said, these vessels are so brave, just coming right across. There's a lot of Ultras. Terran needs a good engage here. He has no medics in this army, not a single medic. But he does siege up in time.
Yeah, I was going to comment about that. One tank's pretty far forward. That means the other ones are pretty far out of the way here. Nice little concave. There's a decent amount of ultras. They're fighting the bio. The tank getting a lot of work done behind this.
Oh, yeah.
So, this is actually a...
Dude, if he had 4 medics with this, like, it would have just been totally crushing. As it is, he's still annihilated all those ultras and can continue to rally reinforcements. 2 Wraiths being produced. I'm not sure if they're to pick off Defilers or what the plan is with that. But all the tanks surviving. Terran just needs to back it up with some bio and he can continue this push. It looks hard for Zerg to stop. No Defilers are available and Zerg just spent the better part of his ultra. So how is he going to stop this now?
And Kiko feels comfortable to take their next base, but here comes units across the bottom side. They're going to go right to that 3rd as it's in production. A lot of Kiko's army is away on the map here, but this isn't a lot. There's just a couple lanes and a couple lurkers, so that immediately is going to get cleaned up here. So you have to try.
Coming, though.
Yeah, it's all pretty far apart though. And Kiko, no reaction. Casts the army parked in the middle of the map, not trying to get anything done here. A Wraith is around the outside, is just hunting some overlords here. So. Hey, if you get some damage done, it won't be too bad.
This is amazing. Oh, he moves them. Oh, wow. He can't even kill 1 Ling. That's not bad, Wraiths, though. But yeah, I feel like Kiko probably would have been better off just ignoring this attack, cancelling his CC, just continuing attack to the Zerg main. But now he's all spread out. His units are not being managed properly. Like, 3 tanks just running for free, as well as these vessels getting staying out. Oh, the Wraith with the sacrifice. But yeah, look at this. He's losing all these tanks because his army is in like 4 separate bits now. So that counterattack did a great job of distracting Kiko. Even if materially it didn't accomplish too much.
Yeah, I was liking Kiko's spot until he just kind of gave away a bunch of those tanks, a bunch of these units. Now Yenta back in the middle of the map. Moving forward with this kind of decent army, more ultras being added on behind it. There's a couple dropships here, but they don't have anything in them. So we keep moving forward. Radiate's trying to do the damage they can, but still, Yenta getting forward to get some decent kills. Resets the unit count again. But still hasn't taken that 4th base. Kiko can't take the 3rd of their own yet. I wonder which player is going to blink first, really prioritize getting that next step instead of just kind of fighting each other with the resources they have.
Well, 2 of those 3, I'd say it's a pretty stable, even game, but honestly, in the long term, I think Terran wins that if it really just keeps going forever. I suppose Zerg's not going to mine out, but I feel like if Terran's not having terrible engages, they will eventually build up an army that like Zerg on 3 base can't handle. That said, the supply is awfully close after Terran lost all those tanks. He really did get mopped up on the map there once he got a bit distracted.
Yeah, I think a big problem with that, though, is that it was kind of a mistake here. It wasn't Yenta finding a great opportunity. It was just, why are there tanks here?
Yeah, basically. Cool, Scourge on the way. This Wraith, he's got 2 kills. You can't kill him. Oh, they're going for the vessel. Oh, wow. Did you see the Duke of the vessels? I don't know if it was even intentional, but it was, like, perfectly timed.
Dude, Wraiths do 5 damage to... Oh, my God. They're terrible.
Yeah.
They're so bad.
Yeah, it's because it has armor. It does do normal damage, at least, but with +3 armor, it's like, okay. And now the vessels. Again, these brave vessels. No units anywhere near them. There's like, no, we'll just go visit the Zerg base, do some irradiates, back in time for dinner.
Well, I mean, if he goes down to that bottom, a nice little eraser action, you know, you can get something done here if you're going to be that
Not to erase a single vessel, though. Or 0 if those Scourge come in. Yeah, I think both these vessels are going to fall, so ultimately it's not worth it. I mean, getting those Ultras is nice, but... I'll really lose the other one. I just has Zerg lost track of it. Oh, he's still after it. Looks like it might barely make it home if the Marines just step forward to save it. Where are these Scourge even going anyway? Okay, I guess they did lose it. Scourge with terrible vision range, unfortunately. That Wraith! Don't lose the Wraith! Oh...
I mean, if you're gonna lose something, lose the Wraith. Like,
I suppose, but come on. Yeah, I suppose one Marine has considerably more DPS than a Wraith, so fair enough.
Well, you gotta teach Marines how to jump, like just jump into a Scourge, eat the
and cloak as well. I mean, if Ghosts have personnel cloaking, why not Marine?
Because we like playing this game. We like
playing this game. That sounds beautiful.
Dropship, 2 dropships down to that bottom right base, unloading out of vision. They did fly over stuff of the natural. That 4th base finally get taken out. Look how many fire bats are in this army.
Yeah, no, Darkstorm going to be stopping this. Needs a scan. There's a scan. And here he goes. Yeah, that lurker not going to be enough here. Is that another... Oh, no, it's a Sun. I was going to say, is he finally trying to build a Nice here again? But no, that is not the case. Fire bats out for drone blood. Ultralisk coming back here. I mean, with so many fire bats, actually, does he have the DPS to kill his hatchery? And the Sun can actually finish. There's no one killing it. It's on 2 HP. Okay, a fire bat kills it. But yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't actually do that much damage. He got a few drones, which is nice. But for true dropships worth, I don't think that was quite worth it. If he got right on that hatchery, maybe would have been better.
Yeah, a little hard to say, but I mean, this does buy a window. Kiko did move forward a little bit further, secures that 3rd base here, so maybe if just a distraction, just to give yourself a little window of time. And look at these bold vessels. You keep commenting that they are the most aggressive unit in the army here. Getting forward. Yeah. Scourge taking out 1, more raids going down. Here comes the engage.
I don't know about this. Terran is ready for this. This is exactly what Terran wants here. And an anti-timing as well with Terran at +3 weapons. Zerg just getting melted here. Oh my gosh. So much blood.
Yeah, this is not the way you want to be going through this. It's just Ultras. Still, like, we've been in this stage of the game for a while. Still no Defilers, still no Darkstorms to help out with these attacks. And everything is getting cleaned up, but that's a giant investment for Yenta that kind of walks into its doom, unfortunately. Kiko does manage
quite literally.
Yeah, Kiko manages to survive, get that 3rd base online. While Yenta does have their own 4th down here. When you kill that many Ultras, like, you're feeling real good. If you want to maybe get back to your dropship play, maybe get a push down to this bottom right, because there's just not a lot of defense after losing that many units.
Well, I mean, these drops have been kind of mediocre so far, but the thing is, he's keeping the pressure up, and it only takes 1 time for Zerg to have inadequate defenses, and he will do critical damage, because, yeah, Terran is in a really good position, I feel. 3 base versus 4, I mean, Zerg only just starting to mine this, but look, the Scourge are ready this time. So, I guess it goes both ways. It only takes 1 critical mistake, starts being very not worth it for Terran.
Look at that turnaround. Look at that turnaround.
Nicely done. Keeping an eye on those. Where's he going to go instead? The main does not look that well defended to me. There's a Scourge hanging around, but really... Oh my god, the vessels. Are you kidding me? You know what? Actually, this kind of works. If the vessels bait all the Scourges and soak them up, then there's none to defend the drops. But look at this. He's still going for that bottom right. He has deemed that that is the weak spot, and there's no Scourge on the right here. The vessels kind of doing their job of distracting Zerg. Another big attack coming in here, but once again, this is a fortified Terran position. Even with Bunk here, Zerg thinks better of it and turns around. The dropships are hitting it.
I mean, that's a lot less. That third was a lot less fortified. A lot of the bio in these dropships now going for the third and the fourth, one at each time. There's no defense at that third base. Going to be doing some big damage, and Ultra pops out at the fourth one. So this is going to be hard to zoom out and see everything that's going on. But these two drops simultaneously forcing Yenta to move their army, getting more damage done here. And
just picks up and leaves. I don't think Yenta can sustain this kind of damage. I think Terran's really pulling ahead in this game. He's just happy to sit back with his army. Like you say, because there's no Dark Storm, he's perfectly fine just sitting back in his base.
Even unloads again at the fourth.
Yeah. I mean, every drone he kills is huge at this point. He's going to drop behind the natural, I think, too. So many more drones falling. That medic blocking pretty well. Doing some good damage to these ultras, actually. He's going to take one out. That's pretty good value, to be honest, considering what's in the dropship. Oh my gosh, those poor ultras, they just can't do it.
Oh, that dropship was going towards the natural. Went to the main, found some Scourge, and unfortunately doesn't get anything dropped off.
The Scourge didn't find it found them. Vessels here ready to do the more irradiates on these injured ultralists. Like if he irradiates that yellow ultralist, it'll die. There you go. Is there energy for another one? Not quite. Yeah, that is excellent damage there. Oh, the Scourge are here to clean up though.
And you can see the dropship sacrificing itself for the cause. There's a little contingency of Zerg units over the 9 o'clock getting cleaned up by some bio, so I like what Kiko's doing. While you see these drops and it's like, oh, I don't know, man, you're losing a lot every time. Yeah, I see that supply slowly growing, and each time you're killing these drones that Yenta doesn't want to replenish. He's got that third base up, another CC made, so looking like they want to secure that 9 o'clock and really be in a great position here as we're in this big late game. And Yenta is kind of just having trouble getting a decent foothold, but at least Consume's on the way now. Maybe we can start getting some Dark Swarms or Plagues to help out these fights.
Yeah, it's an interesting style from Kiko that he just kind of sits back and builds up these tags, but it works very well against this ultra-focused style. Like I was saying, Dark Swarm would be the threat here because you have no space on the map, but that said, with that many tank sieges in one place, is Dark Swarm even enough? Marine's just heading up to the top left just to scout, I believe. Yeah, he's going to the 12. Why is there an SCV there?
There's been so much drop action. I'm not paying attention. There's a physics lab. There's a battle cruiser on the way.
Oh, nice.
Now this is like your ultimate let's turtle late game style. You're tired of Scourge. I know a unit that's real good at dealing with some Scourge.
That's right. Okay, a few Marines getting caught here. I don't know if they were just scouting or what, but they sure are fulfilling their purpose today. I really thought he was going to build a bunker at 12. I kind of wish he had. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, this dropship probably not going to live much longer, I have to say. But then again, the vessels are here to tank. Not their usual job, but they're doing it. Oh, and, well, there's a lot of Zerg here, so, yeah. That drop is not going to work.
Wait.
Yeah, but now look. Was it really worth it?
Well, it's not about being worth it. It's about distracting. It's about getting a little bit of damage. That's all right. This is not bad.
Yeah,
this is not bad at all.
That. Actually, if he irradiates every ultralisk, oh my god. One more, come on, yes! Oh my god, that is so much damage. Oh my god, and meanwhile, Zerg's still starting to rebuild their economy, losing more vessels, but I mean, can Zerg even really keep up? Even though he's killing so many vessels, there's still just so many more. The dropship happily makes it out as well. Oh my god, that is so much damage irradiating all those ultras. And there's still so many tanks.
Another vessel does go down. These Scourge trying to do what they can, but look at Yenta's money. Like, he's having trouble spending things. He has to keep these ultras up to keep the ground army honest. But now the battle cruiser is the first one, I believe, hits the map. There's lots of tanks built up. It's tank fire back battle cruiser. Love this army, but hey, a little group of Lings did get to that 9 o'clock. There's fire bats in the bunker though, so they can't get anything done. And that's immediately getting repaired here. So nice little defense from Kiko.
Oh, more irradiates. Doing huge damage to those Lings. Wow, that's such value. That vessel has 14 kills. Presumably most of them are Lings. Probably a couple ultras in there, though. So Terran continues to get value. Look at this tank firebat army. This is like you play the campaign, and this Terran only has ground units, so you have to send in the air units. You know, that's what's going on right now. Oh, that little force of ultras has no chance. He's fully upgraded bio. No upgrades on the tanks, but do they really need them? Just roasting those ultralists. I don't think there's much more Zerg can do to hold this base.
This is a little bit interesting here. The E-base kind of floating out. To see a big group of units from Yenta coming down from the top. To see it trying to pull stuff in the bottom right as well. If you get the decent flank.
Continue, yeah. And the battle cruisers here to ward this off. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's moving up here. It's gonna tickle.
I don't care about the Scourge.
Yeah, ignore that they could one-shot the Scourge and help defend his vessels. Has no interest in doing it.
This battle cruiser just does not care. It's like, I'm killing an ultralist if it's the last thing I do. There's so many firebats here, Dark Storm is not even going to help, to be honest. Oh my gosh, that ultra.
Yeah, this is actually like perfectly tuned to deal with Defiers, even though we haven't seen them that much in this game so far. Moving forward into that 4th base area, there's no real defense. That hatchery's not long for this world, and if you look at the 3rd base right behind it, there's just nothing here. Slowly trying to move forward with these Dark Swarms, but there's just not enough units here as more stuff gets reinforced.
Terran's like, yes, please come in here, but what does Zerg even have to throw in there? He has 4 Zerglings. Like, what's he going to do with that? That battle cruiser, did it kill its ultra? I don't know, I assume it did.
It has 2 kills, but I think they're from Lynx. I don't think.
Well, I don't see the heavily wounded ultra, so I think he did get it because there was one that was on like 20 HP. That was the one I was trying to kill. Oh, but here we go. He's coming into that Dark Swarm, but yeah, it's no good against all those 5-bats and tanks. GG. Wow, Kiko really showing his strength that game where he wasn't on the ropes.
Yeah, that was like when you're not super far behind, you have a really abusive style that's going to tax your opponent in the late game. Seems to work out quite well, and that means everyone playing against Kiko. Be ready for drops, apparently. He just loves them. That's all he's doing. Right. But hey, we had a great time casting some games. Lots of exciting ones. Some maybe a little more teachable moments with some builds that didn't quite go so well. It's standard stuff kind of going through, but it was a nice, good night of casting. That is the last game we do have for tonight. Nablime, thanks for hanging out with me, buddy, as always.
Thanks for having me. There's some great games. Can't wait for preseason week 2. Everyone's really bringing the thunder today.
Yes.
Well, this week, I should say.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Like I said, I think Pancake Princess casting something tomorrow. Cold War Gates the same day, later in the day on their own personal channels.
Nice.
So you have more action. Stay in this CPL Discord. We'll be posting that in the streams channel as needed. But for now, we're going to find someone to raid and we're going to call it a night. So everyone, thanks for tuning in. We're going to find someone to raid, hang out for a second. But other than that, we'll see you next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, same time.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.